T. McCluskey presents Arcade Talk live stream. Thanks, Grugu, for that introduction, man. There he goes. He's happy too. Welcome everybody to the stream. He's still talking over here. Welcome everybody. We are talking general arcade talk. We got some footage from Papabrad. And there's Papabrad.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Great to be here. Great to be here. Great to be here. Wow, that was amazing. It was like I thought I was watching The Mandalorian there for a minute. What an awesome intro. How did you do that? It's like special effects. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's a tribute to Dave.
Sorry about that.
That scared the shit out of me.
I know, it scared me too. I didn't know it was going to do that. Maybe not put that there. Okay. What's up?
Okay, that was a tribute to Dan and Mike from Neon Sun and Big Bad Mike. They did this War of Mortal Kombat, trying to get Phil from PD7 love over each other. So that was a little tribute to those guys.
That was cool.
Little Guru. Because they had Guru. If you guys didn't see it, there's the video for it. Go check it out. They have Guru in their filming of that one. It's pretty neat. How they,
yeah, Grogu. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So welcome everybody to
Grogu with the Darth Vader helmet on it. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. That's pretty funny.
Welcome everybody to the stream.
Hey, we got Goofy Foot. We got the bad guy Mike Worley here.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Aha, well, there go my speakers. I know, right? Here goes my ears.
I
thought I broke something.
Hey, that iiRcade goes loud. I mean, I have it connected to a subwoofer too. Like I can literally feel it. Like when you play Dragon's Lair and you crank it up, like you can feel the game.
Awesome. Hey, what's up, console fanboy? What's up, Julian? Bad guy Mike. Well, I don't know why I call you Big Bad Mike. I would say it's the bad guy Mike. Welcome, Goofy Foot. Welcome, Sam Arcades. You got to change your thing, Sam, to Sam's Arcade, man. It's pretty cool. Welcome, everybody. Okay, we're doing general arcade talk. Brad has some footage. I have some websites I want you guys to check out. And I literally
just got back from the Wayback Rcade. It's the biggest arcade in the South.
So it is the biggest.
Yeah, it's the size of a supermarket. It's actually an A&P supermarket.
A&P, yeah, I remember A&Ps.
Yeah.
We used to have A&Ps up here.
Hey, we got Carl O joining us. What's up, Carl O?
What's up, Carl O? What's up, Brad? TM, Goofy, Bad Mike, Sam, Baby Yoda. Yep. Grugu, what's here? There he is. I got two of them. I got one back there in my Pac-Man and this one. Forgot I had them in there. To start off, I was going to show you guys real quick something new.
Okay, let's check it out.
A mod kit for Star Wars Arcade 1-Up for Buy Stuff Arcades.
Well, that's awesome.
Check this video out. Mike, bad guy Mike, was talking about this in Discord. Like he plays Spy Hunter. Comes with the braking gas. I think that would be a good controller, man, for Spy Hunter.
Oh yeah, man. The yoke controller is perfect for racing games because it's an analog controller, just like a steering wheel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I have the B Kong's mod done to my Star Wars, and it plays racing games great. I mean, I'm gonna put Daytona on mine right now.
Nice. So I think you'll be able to play games like that too. It comes with some games as well.
This is cool. Now this is just kind of like a plug and play kit, like the kit they did for Ridge Racer, huh?
Yeah, I do believe.
This
How much was that kit? Anybody in chat?
I didn't get it, but it comes with everything you need to play the games, which is cool.
And it comes with some games too, right? Karo got his buy stuff risers today.
Got some Hydro Thunder there.
Paperboy. You can actually play Paperboy. Some of the steering wheel bicycle. Be a hell of a lot easier using the flight yoke instead of a joystick for Paperboy.
Yeah. All right, that's what I'm talking about.
I can't find the two.
I'm sure it tastes good.
Yes, you do, Sam.
Oh, we'll see. Good.
There's Outrun.
It's great. Thank you.
Whoa. What's going on over?
Man, I'm getting drinks. Look at that. Missile Command Bloody Mary. Looking
That's
good.
awesome. That's awesome.
I know. Look at that. I mean, we go on a little vacation, and I'm getting drinks now while I'm streaming. I must have done something right on vacation.
Yes, you did.
I know.
Nice.
That looks awesome. You know what I like about that? It takes the B Kong mod and it makes it where everyone can do it. You know?
That's true.
That was a pretty complicated mod. I think this is going to simplify it. I think a lot more people are going to get to enjoy using a yoke to play these awesome games.
Yeah, I might have to get
the yoke is a great controller.
Anybody in chat, did they buy the one for Ridge Racer or Outrun? I was curious what the price is going to be. It's going to be about $200 maybe.
I bet you it'll probably be about the same because the they had like an Android box and the parts to do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much the other one was though. papabrad got the hookup. Yes, he does.
The bad guy Mike Worley says he got the buy stuff store kit.
How much was it, Mike?
Maybe you could type it in the chat. You know what I think's great about this is like, we love arcade games, but certain games like racing games, like console games are actually a little better because you get to play them a little bit longer. All arcade games are coin based and they're based to make you lose within one or two races, like all racing arcade games. But like playing something, some of the console games, being able to play them with arcade controls would be great. I could see this being a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. Well, Mike has that control deck that you can put your cartridges in and play your console games on your Arcade 1-Up.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
You never saw his video?
I have seen his videos. He has a really serious collection of like actually having the cartridges too. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Dude, I'm sad, man.
That's a lot of money too. I mean, I can't imagine how much money that is. Like, I mean, because you figure each cartridge is, they're not cheap anymore. Those are all collectible.
And unfortunately, I threw all mine away.
But I think he's been collecting for a long time. So, I mean, you have to have a collection like that, really.
Yeah. So the Ridge Racer mod was $258. Not bad.
$258?
Yep.
Yeah, it works great. Like, I would highly recommend, like, if you have a Star Wars.
That was for the plug and play package. Well, I think that's what this is going to be too, plug and play.
See, there's Daytona USA, the newer one running. The newer arcade game. It works good. The controls work really good. The yoke is an excellent steering wheel, Works pretty good. I've been real happy with it. It's been a lot of fun.
I was a little late on the Sega.
Oh, wait. We supposed to see something?
No, just I was supposed to play
that's
the Sega.
The Sega sound. Okay, it's the Sega. It's the Sega Dreamcast boot up sound.
I was trying to do it while you were showing.
Oh, okay, okay.
I was a little late on the trigger on that one.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Heavy
Yeah,
metal.
I've been doing Dreamcast streams. Been playing this game a little bit. This might be my next Dreamcast game that I do. But you know, the Dreamcast really has some amazing games. I just did Dynamite Cop. That was a really fun stream. I think Goofy was there for that stream. It was fun.
Okay, Sam has a question. Do you think the steering wheel on the F&F cab will need to be upgraded right out of the box?
No, because the steering wheel works really good for Ridge Racer. They did a good job. The steering controls work good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I haven't heard any complaints on either cabinet.
No, and really all it is, it's like almost like they took their yoke design and they modified it and they put a rubber wheel on it. The yoke is a really good analog controller. I mean, it works good.
That guy said he has been collecting for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Council Fanboy says you never know with one up. They're all over the place. The steering wheel can be nice like Ridge Racer, or it can go backwards. And that's true. That is true, but they just keep what they have. They're good to go.
Yeah.
Stay legit. Arcade one up.
Yeah.
Look at
I did a video called What Arcade 1UP is doing right. That was a fun video to make. And just talking about the things like people always complain about everything, but there are some things they've done right, you know? And I was just trying to point out that, you know, it's not always winter and never Christmas. You know what I mean? We're not in Narnia land. It's not always winter and never Christmas. You know, sometimes they do listen, you know. Now, if they can just do that with Mortal Kombat, I think a lot of people will be happy. I mean,
yeah,
right?
They just can't get Mortal Kombat.
I mean,
right.
it's like they don't equally show the love to all the franchises, but I mean, hopefully, we will see that they reverse and they do the right thing.
John D says he loves Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's what he
If
says
he loves
anyway.
Mortal Kombat, why don't we have? I mean, if he had loved Mortal Kombat, they would put spectate mode on it, and they would release a Mortal Kombat 4. You know, they'd commit to doing that if they love the franchise.
Man, John D said, "I love the franchise. Love Mortal Kombat. Love playing it. He was showing the love, man. He had a T-shirt on. Remember last stream?
Yeah.
Did you catch today's stream? The update? I didn't catch it.
I caught the end of it. I think they were only talking about that game table they make, huh?
The Infinity.
Who got to watch the Infinity game table? I think they were talking about that. Like, I have no interest in that, honestly.
No.
And like the people that I know, like one of my good friends is super into board games, and he has no interest in it either. Just because the kind of board games, you know.
That's right.
They don't want to play. You know, they don't want to play like the Parker Brothers games, like Monopoly and stuff. They want to play these board games that, you know, board game people are into now. They're all different, you know.
Well, I think Golden Tee, wasn't that the first one that didn't have a BOE in it? And it was terrible, man. People hated.
Oh, the TN monitor. The BOEs are good. The TNs are the ones that are bad.
Are they cheaper? They must be a cheaper monitor.
I think they make like a bunch of different monitors, because I know iiRcade uses a TN monitor, but they use a higher end one. I think whatever one they bought, it just was not good for the application, you know? Because when moved to the side, it washed out.
Sam said was not interested, I guess.
Bad guy Mike Worley says it was very short. I didn't pay attention because I don't care about that table. Yeah, I really don't either. Like,
so that's all they talked about.
I have no interest in a board game table, but I mean, that doesn't mean that other people can't like it. I mean, for me, it's not something I'm interested in, really.
No. I mean, but it's a good family activity. That games has the best monitor in the biz.
They do have a great monitor. Good black levels.
Anybody know what brand they use? Now you got a different glass over there.
I know. I got all kind of drinks. I can pick between like 3 drinks now. They're I don't know. I think it's proprietary for At Games. They spec a very good monitor though. Their monitor looks great. Like when you play Robotron on the At Games Legends Ultimate, it looks fantastic. That's important for like classic games. Like when I reviewed the Mortal Kombat Deluxe cab, what I looked at in the classic games is how good the black level was. And they did a good job. Like the games look good. You got to have a good monitor that can do like, solid black. Well, like when you have those games like Wizard of War, Galaga, like anything that's really old, you know what I mean?
Yep.
The screens are mostly black. So if your monitor has if it looks gray while you're playing the game, that's a big turnoff to me as a classic arcade game player.
Yep. Yeah, it would suck. See what Council Fanboy said, I may buy it, the Infinity Table, and do a drop test review and then return it. That's why it has an easy return policy. It just broke, man. Right out of the box.
It just broke. It was cracked.
Too risky. And those things ain't cheap either. My hopes and dreams are still wanting an MK4 cab. I think I would wait a little bit, though. It doesn't sound like they're going to be coming out with that anytime soon, though. At least Arcade went up a lot.
Doesn't sound like it.
They need to get what they have out right first, anyways. Got to fix the online play. Get their lobbies. Right, play me hyper fighting tonight. Come on. 8:30 Pacific. All right. So what do we want to show first? Show one of your...
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. You're in charge. You just tell me what you want to do.
Actually, you only sent me one video, didn't you?
Yeah, I sent you the one with the music overlaid.
Yeah. And then I did 2 of yours cutouts.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I got those done.
You want me to talk a little bit about Wayback's Arcade first?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, well, Wayback's Arcade is kind of a special thing. It's here in Louisiana. Started by 2 people, Jeremy and Evan, and they were collectors. They had some video games, they had some arcade games, and basically they started off in a strip mall, and they had all these really beautifully restored arcade games in the strip mall. That was the first Wayback's Arcade tour I did. Then they did so well, and keep in mind, this is while we're going through COVID. And they still did well enough that they were able to open a second location. And their new location, they went from being in a strip mall and being like still an amazing arcade. But then they bought a supermarket, an A&P. And they basically took the inside of it and gutted it. There's a false wall, and that's where they repair games. And they literally have a secret area of the arcade behind everything, where like when a game breaks, they can literally roll out another game. They have games ready to go. So everything on the floor works. Like when you go in there, it's just amazing that seeing that many games. You know, every time I go to an arcade, I see those out of order signs on things.
Yep.
But they don't have to do that because they have the space. And they literally have games ready to go that they can put on a hand truck and roll out. But that's a behind the scenes thing that I didn't learn till like my second tour. This is my 3rd time touring Waybacks.
I got footage of it.
Yeah.
I got footage of the Wayback.
Okay.
Behind the scenes. Hey, what's up, Brooklyn?
It's a supermarket sized arcade. And you'll see like when I do the walkthrough how big it is. Like the scale of it is like unreal.
Play the clip.
Supermarket sized arcade.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's good. It's $13. You can play all day. One price. Every single game in Waybacks is on free play. There's no cards to use, no coins to look for. They serve pizza and ice cream. You can get a pizza while you're there if you want to eat a pizza.
Yeah, I saw that outside. Hunt Brothers. How was that pizza?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I had a pepperoni pizza. It was real good. They have this is the pinball row. They have a Back to the Future. No, Zohar was interested in Back to the Future. There's the actual table right there. That's a Back to the Future. I played it while I was over there.
Nice. What's up, Dan Z?
Gorf,
Mitchell B?
Tron. There's the real Tron. Do you see the Tron?
Yep. Yeah, I thought that was a bigger
Tron
cab.
Arcade.
Man. Everything's bigger when you're little.
Midway row. We got the Williams Row, Defender, Moon Patrol, Robotron, Joust, Bubbles, and Sinistar. All of them there. Some Nintendos.
We get the Nintendos. All the same.
The second Donkey Kong is actually called a Donkey Kong Me, and it has all these really cool Donkey Kong games you can play. They're all like different. That's the Last Starfighter. It's like a custom machine they built. Space Invaders. So with the overlay.
What's up, Common Sense?
Backdrop.
Hubert.
Mr. Do. I did a shout out to you with the final countdown. I made a short. I don't know if you saw it, but I had the final countdown playing. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, there's a real Mr. Do machine.
And look at
out
that.
In the wild.
Look at that ugly bezel.
Dude, all the wood grain you can stand. Like the whole side of it is, you're like, what's a side art? What's a side? It's just wood grain.
Yeah.
It's like wood grain everything. Yep. Like you remember like in the late 70s, everything, like if it was expensive, it was wood grain. That's why the Atari had wood grain on it. It's like, this is fine furniture, you know?
Yeah. But look at that ugly bezel. That's why not use that bezel.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of lines.
Yeah. Here's this.
And I did get to talk to the owners of Waybacks. They actually did an interview with me. Yeah, I love your bezel.
There's my bezel. I'm going to put on my Mr. Do. Mm-hmm. I haven't did it yet, as you see. But that's the bezel I'm using.
Yeah, it matches the marquee a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty basic bezel.
Yeah, I mean, that thing there is so ugly. But that's how all of them came, too. I don't think they ever updated their bezel on that.
You know, on my second tour when I went, they were putting some LCD monitors in some of the machines just to keep them running. And this time when I went, they were converting them all back to CRTs.
Oh, really?
They had done so many machines where they had converted them completely back to CRT. So you really get you could see any of the games where you see how the screen looks funny. It looks like it's shimmering.
Yeah.
That's because they're using the CRT monitors. There's a Gauntlet.
See, what Arcade wanted to do Gauntlet. They already got the game. They need to do
Gauntlet.
The cabinet.
Dark Legacy.
Love the cabinet of Gauntlet.
The other side of the pinballs, you got a Dragon's Lair.
There it is.
Primal Rage.
Hey, what's up, Neon
Ghosts and Goblins. They got all the Mortal Kombats. All in a row.
But evening's good, Common Sense.
They made a new area too. Like this room, in the back wall, they have 3 gigantic fighting setups. And I mean, you talk about premium. I mean, they have the biggest monitor you can have. They have the best controls you can have. And they have 3 fighting game setups. Right. Pause it right there. When it goes to the back wall, pause it. It's about to turn. A little more. Okay, there you go. There's actually 3 of these giant cabs, and these have a big monitor. They have pedestals, and they're set up with really good buttons and sticks and everything. This is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to the right. And then they have every month they feature a different fighting game. Like this month it was Darkstalkers 3. And I mean, this is set up for like people to come in and like play against each other. Really beautiful setup. Like You know, I made fun of it. I said, it's like you have a flight control panel. Like you should see the Marvel vs. Capcom. It has all the moves and everything. It's crazy. But this is
awesome.
This is a really heavily curated collection of games. I mean, like some of these games are in the best shape I've ever seen. I've never seen an arcade have games in this condition either.
Yeah, they all look great.
Part of the magic is they have a secret room, like in the about 1/4 of the AMP is it's a workshop, and they can literally, if a game breaks, they can roll it to the back and roll out a new one. And they have games ready to go, and they have stuff they're working on. And I could not film that. The last tour, they let me go back there and film. This time, they wouldn't let me go back in the workshop and film. But roll back a little bit, they kind of skip by that fast. But they also have actually the history of all consoles. There's a wall, and if you roll back, they have like sofas, and they have every console set up from like the Atari to current day.
You want me to roll it back?
Yeah, can roll it back just a little bit. Right till yeah. And keep rolling back. Yeah. They have like all the consoles set up.
Oh, right
you can
there.
See, there's a Nintendo 64, a Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, you know, and they have basically it's like the history of console gaming, and they have all these awesome like retro console games set up on this wall.
Yeah, you can see them all.
And then they added a ton of music games. Like in this room, it's like they have the 3 like ultimate fighting stations, I call them. Like they're just like really maxed out fighter game setups. They have 3 of them on the back wall, and there's a mural which is dedicated to Street Fighter 2. It's actually the background on one of the stages of Street Fighter 2. And then they have a bunch of music games now, and so this room they completely redid since the last time I was there.
These look like music.
Yeah, every time I go there, it's like they've redone everything and it's different, which is pretty amazing. I've tried to make it there twice a year, but every time I go, it's different.
Yeah, there's some more of those.
Yeah, this whole wall is music games, and then they had the 3 kind of maxed out fighters on the back wall. And stuff is spaced out. It's not all jammed together, which is nice too.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
You have one
9.
off, yeah.
Yeah, I caught that one too. 9 or 10 consoles. Damn.
I know. All set up, and like you just like grab a control, and they have like the best games in them too. It's amazing. It's really cool the way they have it set up. It's like it's not just one thing, you know. It's like a bunch of different things.
Young kids could go play consoles. The older kids go play arcades.
Yeah. I mean, they had a Journey game there. I don't know if you saw that we passed it up, but there was a Journey. I haven't seen one of those in ages, man. That was pretty crazy.
I mean, look at that roll, man. Roll arcade machines, man, all the way down as far as you can see.
I know you got
awesome. Then pinballs on this side.
And like if you look at like all the controls and everything are all like decked out. Like I mean, it's this place is like if you like to play games, this place they really care about keeping the machines in perfect shape.
I mean, look at that, man! Just wall to wall pinball and arcade machines, man. That's an awesome shot right there.
I know they love Mortal Kombat so much that they didn't have a cab for the new arcade game, so they made a cab for it. They actually made the Mortal Kombat for the current one, so you could play in the arcade. It's pretty cool.
What's it missing? Common sense. Common sense. You know what is it? Man, I can't read today. You know what?
Well, you know why it's missing people? I went on a Wednesday. Oh, yeah. This is like the middle of the day on Wednesday. Like I purposely picked a day when I knew there weren't going to be people. Like I've filmed before on Saturdays, and it's been pretty busy. But I mean, they're open pretty late, I think to like midnight. So like it clears out at the real late hours. That's usually when I film. But this is actually filmed like yesterday. I filmed all this. I filmed it, edited it, and sent it to you. You remember. Yep. And the funny part is with arcade tours is, of course, they're playing awesome 80s music. So I made the video, and it immediately claims because of the music. So like that's why like I have to remove music in a lot of my videos when I do arcade tours, because all the music is like they're blasting like all kinds of cool 80s and 90s stuff. and you can't have that as your background. YouTube will pick it up and strike the video.
You know that pinball video I did had Guns N' Roses music and all that.
Did it get a claim?
It did,
Copyright
but it
claim?
didn't.
Yeah.
No, because they said they sent me like an email saying the music in your video is copyrighted, but they allow it for this video because of being their products. You know what I mean? It was
it's kind of like advertising.
Cool.
You know, you're really advertising for the pinball machine. I mean,
and I think that's why they didn't give me a copyright claim because it was for those games. I thought that was cool though, because I said it's normally it's copyrighted, but for this video it's not. You know, because I'm showing the products. I thought that was pretty cool. Because at first I saw that, I'm like, oh no, I got copyright claimed. Like, damn it.
I don't 100% go by that either. Like if it's super cool, sometimes I'll just take the claim on my channel. But I mean, in general, I prefer not to, you know, not to have it do that.
Yep. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 maybe in that row. Man.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's going to be my garage one day.
And then add to that, like that they have games ready to go. Like if something breaks, they can just roll something out, you know. But and they keep it organized. I don't know if you noticed, everything's like these are all Nintendo. These are all like Bally Midway, you know, or Bally games or Midway.
The pinballs are.
That Funhouse was amazing. They just got that one at the Texas Pinball Festival and brought it. That's a brand new machine. Yeah. That Shack pinball was real fun. Now these are all gun games. They have a confidential mission, Terminator 2, Revolution X. Yep, right beside each other. And the flickering, like you don't see that when you're in the arcade. You don't see any of that. That's just because they're using real CRTs.
Yep.
That's actually a good thing. It looks terrible on camera, but it looks great in person because that's the way the real arcades were, you know?
Yep. Yes, they were.
And we're walking around. They got a Star Trek Voyager gun game and an environmental cab. That's a really cool one. That's rare. I've never seen anyone else have that.
Oh, there's Area 51, right?
Aliens gun game. Then we have some more arcades. We have Die Hard arcade, RoboCop, a Neo Geo with a cart that plays all the Neo Geo games.
Blitz.
2 Blitz games, Showtime. This is like their little sports area. Golden Tee, of course, NBA Jam, a baseball game. And then they have, look at right there in the corner is Simpsons Bowling. That's the arcade game.
Oh, where was it?
On the corner. When we rounded the, I didn't get it good in frame, but that game that we just passed, that was Simpsons Bowling. You might barely be able to tell, but right there, that's Simpsons Bowling. Yeah. That's Simpsons Bowling on the end.
You see a little bit of the cab there. Oh yeah, got there. Yeah, you can see the oh, we're in the way. There it is. You can see the bowling ball.
Yeah.
There, and the rollers. That's pretty neat. I didn't realize that was the Simpsons. That's cool.
And then they go to like all racing games. Like once you're around this corner, it's all racing games. Lucky and Wild. This is the game where you drive and you shoot a gun at the same time. There's actually a gun with your other hand. You hold a gun. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy, dude.
I never played that one.
That will never get made today.
No.
Spy Hunter.
Yeah.
Was sitting there.
Look at that.
Back in the day. Look how much battle worn this thing is. I can't believe they still have it working. It's amazing. The controls are cool too. Like the wheel is like it's really cool the way it's not really a wheel. It's almost like something you'd see in a submarine or something.
Can't
you see the yeah, there you go. You can see it there.
Well, but yeah. Weapons van.
Of course, it has that music that, you know, the Peter Gunn thing, you know, dun 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 dun, you know.
That was
they had a crank too. Like they had that game loud enough that you could hear it above the music, which was cool. They had that one cranked up. It's like when you played it, like you could hear it good.
That's inspired by James Bond.
Mm-hmm. You get the different weapons. You get the smoke screen. You get the oil slick.
I love that game. I love to see Arcade want to make that. But it has to have that joystick. Or
pole
wheel.
position.
I like
Hang
pole
on, Super Hang On, Crazy Taxi. I just skipped a bunch of games. Mario Kart,
Oh, it did have Crazy Taxi.
Cruising, Fast and Furious, the motorcycle game. This was a crazy jet fighter game they had 3 screens, very immersive, gigantic machine. And we're coming up on this machine here is sick. Look at these two. Look at this whole corner that we're about to hit is insane. You have a beautifully restored Captain America. Then you have arguably the best version of the Punisher I've ever seen. I've been to a lot of arcades. I mean, this thing was like immaculate. I mean, look at the restoration, the art and everything. It's amazing. I was trying to get where you could see the art. And then you have a true 6-player X-Men arcade. I mean, this thing was as big as this thing's as big as a small car. It's insane. It is so big. You can't get the scale of it. So yeah, it's 6 people. It's double, like big giant arcade monitors. It's 2 real monitors in this thing too.
Oh, it has 2?
Yeah.
I can't.
And they use a mirror and they piece the 2 monitors together. But it's really was an amazing machine to see in person.
Oh, okay, yeah. Look at that control deck, man. Huge. Even the marquee, man, is so long. Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
I see Donkey Kong over there again.
Yeah. That's from a Big Trouble in Little China. Did you recognize that mural?
No.
It's the Big Trouble in Little China guy.
Oh, I did not know that. Huh. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Back
It's fun. It's fun.
And I have the behind the scenes from last time you were there. Not this time,
Yeah,
but last
cool.
time.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Firestarter?
It's for the Stranger Things event they did when they got their Stranger Things season premiere and they got the pinball.
Very cool place. Yes, it is. Common sense, thumbs up. This road would be insane to have. And yeah, there's what I said.
Firestarter. It's a Firestarter.
Nice Spy Hunter. Yeah, I'd love to have Spy Hunters. Look at that Spy Hunter cab. I know. Spy Hunters was awesome. X-Men is huge. Hey, what's up, Firestarter?
Dude, Goofy Foot, let me know. I'll meet you there. I'll make a video. If you ever want to go to Waybacks. Goofy Foot, they are going to be getting the Scooby-Doo pinball too from Spooky.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll probably be making my next trip there when they get that.
Spooky. I don't have that anymore. Crap. Now, what's the behind the scenes?
Yeah, this last time they wouldn't let me go. I mean, I could go behind the scenes, but I couldn't film. I couldn't film the behind the scenes. But in the second one, I got it on film. They have a ton of stuff back there.
Okay. Here's the behind the scenes.
Where do you said there was a place you repair them. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, here we go.
Someone's excited.
This is where the magic.
How cool is this? This is like hidden. Like you would not expect this to be there. Like you just go through it. It's all dark, and then you go into this room and it's all light. Crazy.
It's a different place. Look at all those cabs that got there.
Yeah. And that's Jeremy. He's one of the owners of Waybacks. There's 2 guys that run Waybacks.
Look at that. 2884.
It's a Robotron cab. Just chilling.
It's there.
That's
so they don't have one.
And the funny part, that's probably an extra Robotron because they have a Robotron on the floor.
Okay, I thought they did.
Yeah.
That's an extra one. So there it is.
Is that a Robotron in the back? Oh boy, oh boy. One day.
Oh, what game is that? It has 3 steering wheels.
Yeah, they finally got that out. Yeah, that's the off-road.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a segment on that. Yeah, on my interview, we talk about that game, and that game was insanely hard to get working. They talk about it.
So is that out on the floor now?
Yeah, they got that one out on the floor now.
That's cool. Last time
It's
you
the
did
Ivan
this,
Stewart's off-road challenge or whatever, the one with the 3 wheels.
looks like they have an extra one back here laying on the ground.
Sometimes it takes them like 2 or 3 machines to make one machine that works good,
big
you know.
parts.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
One day.
that's cool. That's out on the floor now, though.
Smash TV's a classic.
There's Smash
that out-
TV.
Is it
That's out on the
now?
floor now. Now it's out on the floor. Yeah. Back then it was in the shop and they were working on it.
It's just
getting
kind
it
of
ready.
cool that you actually see them out on the floor now. That you saw them back
I
here.
know. I got to see like where them working on them
Yeah, that's awesome.
to get them out to the floor.
Hey, what's up? To die for? I see a Phoenix.
What's up, Mitchell B?
Phoenix is coming.
That's
Yep.
eventually going in the Williams row.
It may not fit there.
It might not
but
fit there
it
because
will-
it's a really big cab, but
yeah, this cab was
Oh yeah, you can see the logo, off-road logo.
Yeah.
There it is. We got a big old board.
$25 and had
Wow.
been rained on $dollars.
How much?
$25.
This cab was $25.
Oh
And
$25.
on and was disgusting and nasty.
so basically you take what people think is junk and totally redo it. It's like a love of the craft. of
That looks
rebuilding
nice.
machines from the
Yeah.
ground up.
I mean, the restoration work is insane that they do.
We even
man.
have
Look at the marquee. Cool marquee,
Which
man.
one came, I think, is we ordered. Of course, it takes a hair, but the Williams.
They told me like so many of the games that they had all been converted to golden tees and then they convert them back into the original arcade games. Like 'cause,
Really? Wow.
yeah, a lot of arcade operators and owners will buy these games and they'll just rip the guts out and put something else in them. And they buy a lot of games and they rip them all back apart and then restore them back to what they originally were. It's crazy.
That's pretty cool, though.
They know what the different cabs look like and stuff. Like they research it a lot.
This Phoenix,
That looks nice already, too. It looks like this.
was that on
did
the
all
floor before? I thought that was on the floor before. That was probably on at the grand opening. I remember that. What pinball is that back over there?
Just got a Close Encounters sitting back there.
So you got two close
Encounters.
Yeah.
Now Carnival's on the floor now. Now that I look, I see some of these games are out. Carnival's out on the floor now. They were working on it back at this time.
Berserk.
Yeah.
That's such a small cabinet. I don't remember it being that small. Wow.
Well, what they did is they had a working Berserk board, and then they eventually got the real Berserk cabinet, and now it's in the real cabinet and everything out on the floor. But first they had the boards and the sticks and stuff, so they had that out earlier, and then they restored it to a complete machine.
Wow.
What?
Man, looking, and that's close encounters. Is that what he said? It's
Close Encounters,
yeah, it
the
is.
third kind.
It's-
Yeah, they have 2 of them. They have one in the back and one in the front.
Look at the artwork. Freaking awesome.
I know, it's cool.
This one works too? You got two close encounters.
Yeah.
Wow. It's incredible.
Oh, he's thinking it's his house.
So, like, with all these arcades, you still have arcades in your house now, or do you just keep them here? I would imagine, like, if I had an arcade like that was this awesome, I would just keep them all here. I mean,
Here comes the
you
truth.
have arcades in your house, or they're all here? You do? Yeah. So, what machines were worthy to make the cut to go home? Probably a pinball, I would imagine. Uh-huh.
I have a, this is going to sound like a crime, but I have a multi-cade dynamo cab that I did
Okay.
Adventure Time themed.
Multicade. He has a multicade.
So it
That's the
runs,
stuff you can emulation, yeah.
It runs.
We all have that. We love that. Like, all of us that are into arcades,
I have a
gotta have
sit-down
one of those.
cocktail that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. And actually, that's my Mario Brothers
Okay.
over there that needs some work.
You got a Sprint? That's an old one there, man.
Yeah.
Black and white.
This is a freebie. Haven't really gone through it yet.
Yeah.
To know what all of these.
Two.
Is that by Atari?
I
Don't know. Probably. That's cool.
Artwork looks good on the sides.
Yeah, yeah,
Looks-
yeah.
Predecessor to Ivan Stewart's Off-Road.
Okay, yeah, off-road is classic, yeah.
Black and white
Uh-huh.
leather.
Yeah, it's actually very organized. Like, even back here, everything is.
Yeah, it is
nice and
Atari.
neat and organized.
Sprint is Atari.
Oh, boy,
Yeah.
oh, boy, I love this.
They got a Nintendo cab just sitting over there. There's actually another little room behind that cinder block wall. That's kind of like the graveyard. That's where they put the stuff that's really far gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was like that was just jam full of cabs in there. That one made it out to the floor in their
really?
music area. Yeah.
Thanks for showing me behind the scenes.
No, the
This is
music
cool.
games are cool.
Cool. So as big as you think it is, it's even bigger. They got a giant area where they work on.
What was that, Mr. Do or what? Not Mr. Do. Mario, you said?
Oh yeah, they have like a Nintendo cab on the back wall there.
What is this yellow one here?
Some motorcycle game, I think.
Is that what it is?
Mhm.
As big as you think it is, it's even bigger.
It was different. It was all different. Like when I went this time, I couldn't film in the back, but they have a bunch of other stuff back there now.
That's the first thing you notice when you come in here. Everything's running.
This cab over here, man, looks in pretty good shape too. Can't tell what it is. You know what that one is?
That's a Showtime NBA
Oh, is that the Blitz?
Showtime.
Showtime Blitz.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And it looks like the Blitz logo down here on the control deck. That's a big machine too.
Yeah, they're big. These machines are big. Yeah.
I mean, it's a 4-player
Mhm.
Blitz Showtime. Wow.
Everything's looking good. Unless you blew a breaker, because all those were running. All those were running.
He told me how much you think it costs a month in just electricity to run the machines for this arcade. It's how much would you say, like for 1 month just to run this arcade, just electricity alone, like not rent. I'm talking just power.
$3,000.
$4,000 a month.
That was close.
You were pretty close. Yeah, you're pretty close. You're pretty close. You know, you told me it's, yeah, you told me. I mean, I have another interview with Jeremy and Evan from Wayback's Arcade, and we talked for like 55 minutes. So I'll eventually get that on my channel. I need to go through it. I just got the footage.
I got a picture of us.
Oh, did you?
But-
Papabrad Gaming. I'm at the Wayback's Arcade. Jeremy, thank you for the tour.
Thank you. Glad to have you.
Very cool to get like from someone that really knows like what it's like owning a big arcade to get like the stories and stuff. Just amazing. Just really good down to earth people at Wayback's Arcade. You know, $13 too to play all those games with all that restoration work. I mean, the games are like, if you loved games and you restored it yourself, that's the way you would do it, you know? Everything is like for like preservation and stuff. Very
Yes.
cool. Very cool.
Smash TV looked awesome.
Yeah, the games are in the best shape you've ever played them. And like by the time they hit the floor, like, and you saw Jeremy, but Evan is really the guy that does a lot of the work on restoring the machines. And man, he just knows, he knows everything. Like he's one of those guys that, you know, he was in the hobby long before he had the arcade. So he was already restoring arcade games, but you could tell the people that love it, you know, it's like hot rods. I mean, they don't want to just have it like running. They want to have it like in the best condition it can be in. You know, they want to do restoration. They want to have the games with perfect controls. And the whole back wall with the 3 fighters set up, that's like, if you're into fighting games, they're giving you like just a really nice, you know, premium format to play those fighting games. So that's pretty cool. And it's in Pineville, Louisiana.
Oops.
They spent like a year on the Dragon's Lair machine, like a full year building that, restoring that machine and putting that before they put it out.
I got a brand new one back there.
I know.
It doesn't play as good. At least I have one.
No, yeah, that's awesome though. Yeah,
So I guess
and, you know, They're cool. They're cool with the home arcade stuff too. Like they didn't razz me too bad about being all into home arcade stuff. But
It's the only stuff you can afford.
yeah, I mean,
If you want a lot of them. If you just want one machine, I can see go getting a real one. But if you want more than one, man, I mean, those things ain't cheap.
yeah. It's constantly they constantly break, It's like you got to be willing to like get your hands dirty and really learn about how arcades work. I mean, that's the one thing that is constant is they constantly need to be worked on.
Yeah, that's one thing I'd be scared of getting one. That is still set up from back then. I mean, you can get old ones now that they gutted and put the newer stuff in. Like the one store I was looking at today or yesterday, they had Donkey Kong, and it's the Donkey Kong original cabinet, but they put in the LCD monitor. I think they put a different PCB board in there.
Yeah,
it's all modernized. Modern.
Yeah, like the 60-in-1 board is real popular for people to put in there. There's a bunch of the popular arcade games. But
I think they're asking $13.80 for that Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I can't find that one, man. They must have sold that one already. I said it was around $750. Haven't seen that thing again, man. I bet it went that day. Because I looked the next day, couldn't find it on the internet anywhere. It's like, yep, somebody was smart enough and picked it up for $750. $750 for Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Restored.
Well, you heard how much they paid for the Smash TV cab, $25.
But that thing was,
they go out, they look for machines that are broken because they're going to restore them. They're going to bring them all back. I mean, but if you look at like Stringer Films, who has a arcade has a really nice home arcade with real arcades. That's how he buys machines too. He kind of goes out and looks for ones and gets the deals. I mean, if you're willing to do the labor, you can bring a lot of those machines back. It's mostly just the labor of doing it.
Yeah, look at Dan from Neon Sun, man.
Look what I mean, he's got the Street Fighter he's bringing back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got that for free. Looks really good.
Yeah, he's doing a good job with that restoration on that machine.
One thing I can't understand about Street Fighters 2 side cabinet art is why they made it so small. It's weird how that side art, because when I got that Mr. Dude, that was a Street Fighters 2, and that side art, man, it was like that big. I'm like, really? You got all this room. Why'd you put it? But the real one's like that. I don't know why they made the side art so small. I've never seen the side art that small.
Yeah, Carl, if you ever go to Pineville, you need to go to Wayback's Arcade. It's a destination for the South. I mean, it's probably one of the best it's the best arcade I've ever been in the southern part of the United States.
So you said they have 3 arcades now?
No. They had the original Wayback's Arcade was in a strip mall. It was just like a really nice arcade. I mean, I have a tour of that too, but they are opening up some other. They're working on opening up some other businesses that are going to be arcades too. But
really?
I'm not really supposed to talk about it. I don't think so. That was in my backstage interview, so I probably won't let too much go on that. But yeah, they're
that's cool.
They're really into it though, and it's awesome to see that they're doing well too. They're doing okay.
That's good. That is good to see. Okay, here's their Dragon's Lair that they had to redo.
This is a real Dragon's Lair. Look at this beautiful machine. Wayback's Arcade, Stranger Things event. Okay. Where did you find a Dragon's Lair cab?
So, a couple things about Dragon's Lair, and I know that those of you who watch Brad, you may already know this, or you've watched this video for the first time. So, Dragon's Lair obviously was originally a Laserdisc game. If you can find a Dragon's Lair today that has a Laserdisc player in it, you're lucky if it has one, you're lucky if it works. And then if you actually have a Laserdisc for the game, many times that Laserdisc will have what's called Laserdisc watch, and it will actually lose the data. So our Dragon's Lair is incredibly modernized. We have a brand new scoreboard in here. So the cabinet is a a brand new CNC cut cabinet. So
Wow.
the cabinet's new, all of the art is new. The inside, instead of many people do this, you have Dragon's Lair, instead of a laser disc player, you have what's called a Dexter system, which is a laser disc replacement system. It's a board on top of a Raspberry Pi 2. It actually allows you to play Dragon's Lair 2, Space Ace, and a few things. But then the other thing that's kind of neat about this, we had a brand new cabinet. We didn't even have the original boards. You can actually put in replacement original, what would replace the original board, and it's kind of the same layout, but again, a multi-board. Ours is called an Arthur board. So you have an Arthur and a Dexter, brand new scoreboard, brand new speakers, everything.
That's the end of that.
Yeah. So anyway, crazy. You can see all they had to go through. I mean, it took them like a year to put out that Dragon's Lair. I mean, it's like all the different boards they had to get, all the different stuff they had to convert. And then like they couldn't find, they actually remade the cabinet. They had it CNC cut to the exact specifications. So it was all brand new wood, but it was in the exact shape of the Dragon's Lair cab. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I saw somebody's video that actually has a working laser disc in their Dragon's Lair. I saw a video a couple years ago, but I guess it's really rare to find one working and then two the discs working. I didn't realize this lost their data over time. That's crazy.
they have disc rot. I mean,
didn't know that existed.
But now they have like he was saying, the way they have it, it's all like modernized, but it's actually running it's running the same way, but it's just more modernized.
Yep. Yeah, it's same simulation as the laser disc.
Yeah, it's an exact simulation.
Yeah, those laser discs, man. I watched the behind the scenes of Dragon's Lair with Rick and them in Bluth and talking about that laser disc.
And Rick Dry, yeah.
How they did that on the laser. I mean, it sounded like it took ridiculous amount of time to make that game.
It did, basically. It's like I think they're, and then the animations, like you're making like a Disney movie,
Yeah, and it's
so many different scenes they have to animate,
And frame could be over here on the disc. The next frame could be way over here on the disc, and the laser just got to flip around to the right spot for the right frame. I mean, it's crazy, complicated to sound. And this all happened in 83 when.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you got to remember, like, we were still playing stuff like Dig Dug and like Donkey Kong and Galaga when Dragon's Lair rolled out on the arcade floor. I mean, cool. It was like a massive jump to see something like animated like that. But
cartoon. I'm playing a cartoon.
A playable cartoon. Yeah.
I'm making art. Cartoon character move around. That's what I thought when first time I saw it. Like, that's so freaking cool.
Yeah, my favorite Laserdisc game though is actually Cliffhanger, but it's a pretty rare one.
That was a Laserdisc. I didn't realize I played that a couple times. I remember that game. I didn't realize it was a Laserdisc.
It was a Laserdisc game, and it's a
who made that?
It was made by Stern.
That's right. Yeah, it was Stern.
And like I found out the hard way. I did a playthrough of the game once. And then I tried to put on YouTube, and you can't do anything because it uses the loop in the third animation. So it doesn't even claim, it strikes immediately.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Thankfully I didn't make it public, but yeah, it strikes because of the footage. The footage is from Lupin the Third, which is a popular anime in Japan. It's huge still. It's like a James Bond. It's like a James Bond cartoon almost. And that's where they caught all the footage from Cliffhanger. It was all from anime. And so like if you film it, like I did a playthrough where I played through the whole game, and then I didn't realize I was going to do that. But so still I love the game though.
Yeah, it was a fun game.
Great game.
Two die forces.
Very hard. It ramps up really hard. The difficulty gets crazy towards the end.
I never got to the end.
Yep.
To Die For says my plan is open arcade in the future. That'd be cool, man.
That'd be awesome.
I don't have that kind of money. Who made Cliffhanger? Stern. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sam Sam.
Same Stern Pinball.
All right, Sam Sam. You changed your channel name to Sam Sam's Arcade. Nice, man. Nice touch. Love it. That is awesome. Yeah, I forgot Stern made that. But let's see. Now I got some websites I want to show you guys. If anybody's
Okay.
interested in making their own arcade machine, like a full size.
Yeah, if you could put a real arcade, like if you could buy one real arcade game, what would you buy, T? I'll give you a minute to think. I'll give you my game I would buy. The game I would buy would be probably a Robotron or a Donkey Kong. Like I would buy one of those to have a real one. But
Yeah,
what machines would you buy?
Well, I really want a Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I don't think we'll ever get one from Arcade 1-Up or anything. So that is one of mine.
Yeah. The good thing about Donkey Kong, though, it's an extremely common cab. They made like a gazillion of them. It was a real popular game. So it's one you can actually possibly get. You know what I mean? It's not like it's some of the games are hard to get or they're rare, but Donkey Kong is a pretty common one, which is good.
Yeah, I forget. I saw on the website how many Donkey Kongs they sold. It's a ridiculous amount. It's just like Pac-Man was a ridiculous amount. They sold.
They have a smaller Robotron. They had one they were working on over there at Wayback, so it was really cool.
I guess my other one would be
not a full size one.
I wouldn't mind seeing I wouldn't mind having a full size Tron, man.
That would be wicked.
Even though I got the Arcade 1-Up, looks pretty damn close, but something about Tron, man.
What's different about the real machine is that the way that they do the NPC cone in the background, like it's like I don't know how to explain it. I'll have a video of it, but it's like it looks a little different.
Does it?
Yeah, but it's still good.
Well, I don't understand with the Tron we have when you do the cone, try to break the blocks. If you go too far right, too far left, the whole thing
moves. It does that on the arcade too, yeah.
It does? Okay.
Well, I don't know why that does that, but it does do that. The whole screen moves when you do that. Yeah, it does that on the arcade machine too. Okay, it's exactly the same.
So that's legit on that. But
that is legit. I don't know why it does that. It's something with the programming.
Yeah, it's weird.
With Tron, Disney would only let them use 2 letters for putting in your high score.
Yeah, so you can't
so you can't swear. Yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah. So they limited it to just two letters for Tron. I thought that was funny.
You can still do FU though.
You could do FU.
Yep. Don't know what I could think of though. You couldn't do ass. You have as.
Yeah, as.
What the hell you mean as? All right.
Grail cabinets. Put in the chat. What's your Grail cabinet? If you could pick just one cab, what would you buy?
Right. Since I have those ones back there, Mr. Doing all there, I would have to say Donkey Kong and Spy Hunter. Spy Hunter.
Donkey Kong and Spy Hunter would be a great game to have because it's like there's nothing really that plays like the real arcade with the controls and stuff. It's pretty cool. Very unique.
Yeah. I can't think of any other ones over there though. I mean, there's some ones I really like, but yeah, those 2 would probably be my 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would want something that has that's basically infinitely playable, like Robotron or Defender, something that has no end. Like you can play it as long as you can stand playing it. Yeah.
Smash TV for Carl. Yeah, that'd be a good one. That cabinet looks awesome, man. Smash TV. Oh man,
a cool looking cabinet.
I love just to have the cabinet just for the looks of it, even if I didn't like the game, which the game's fun, but. I mean, the marquee is awesome. The side of it is awesome. That's an awesome cab.
It is a good looking cab.
Yeah, I love the colors. Donkey Kong for sure for Sam Arcade. Yeah, I know one place you can get one right now for Donkey Kong $1,380. I keep looking. I've been looking at that freaking website for 3 years, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna go down anymore. Get a little closer to 1,000. It doesn't do. And I should have scooped that one up for $750, man. Damn it.
Yeah, man. You gotta scoop them up.
Guess when you see them, you gotta go for it. Can't be shy, I guess.
Yeah, well, Waybacks was selling. They just sold their Popeye pinball machine for like $4,000. They had a Popeye that was a cool pinball machine, but that's already sold.
Is it?
Yeah, I played it there when they had it.
Yeah, Space Invaders would be a cool cab too.
Gorf
especially if
is
they
a
had-
beautiful cab too. They have a Gorf there, but the real Gorf cab is just like a piece of art. It's beautiful. They have like it lights up. I'm gonna explain it.
What do you mean, like
It has lights in it. The Gorf cab, like the front panel has lights where it lights up. It's a really cool design.
Yeah, that's not very good. That is that what it looks like?
Yeah, it looks just like that.
Where's the lights at? In that?
That top panel and that bottom panel light up. See that panel in the front? That's lit up.
Right here?
Almost like a pinball, yeah.
Is it the bezel?
Underneath the control panel, that's a light. Almost like
okay.
pinball glass, it looks like. It lights up.
Well, that's cool.
And then there's actually lights too on the side, like the different levels when you progress through the game. There's a picture of it right there. You can probably see it if we move us out of the way. A space rank display board. That lights up as you play. You get the different levels.
Oh, those light up?
They light up too, yeah. Like the first level is like Space Cadet or something, and like it changes.
This looks like it lights up too up here.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking cool, man. Yeah, I really didn't play that game for whatever reason.
You can see it's lit up in the front if you look. I don't know if it's showing it good, but it's pretty cool.
So this front panel lights up.
Yeah, they had
And then
at Waybacks they had done some work. They had the newest machine they got at the Texas Pinball Festival, and it was a fun house, which is a classic pinball that, like, if you know pinball a lot, it's one that most people know. But what they did is they had modernized it, and then made it where it could play the original Funhouse, but you can play this new version of Funhouse, and it was super cool. I got a bunch of video footage of that. I'm gonna have to do a video on it. So it's like you're getting two pinball machines. You can play the original code, or you can play this new version of Funhouse. Pretty cool.
Well, that's pretty cool. That is cool. Okay, if anybody's interested in building their own cabinets, this website here, man, Arcade Work USA, they have the cabinets, but you got to put all the guts in it. I think they do sell them with the guts in them too if you wanted it. But if you just wanted a cabinet yourself, and these are all full sizes, you can. I thought about doing this. I mean, here you can see here's a Tron one.
Yeah, look at that.
Galaga.
There's a Galaga. Now, see, that's what I have. I have a Galaga. I have my cab that I have is that exact shape. My Multicade.
Yeah.
And it was basically just like this. It was all new wood, but it was done like in the original arcade designs, exact dimensions, just everything brand new.
Look at that. That is a Discotron.
That's cool. Environmental cab.
Yeah.
That is cool.
It's not much money either. It's $595 raw.
They're not using plywood though. They're using MDF. That's why.
Yep. And then you can get it slotted for T-molding.
My machine's made out of the plywood or whatever they really make the real arcades out of, and it is ridiculously heavy. Like you need a dolly to move it.
See, you can see they sell ones already made
kits, yeah. Like
but it's already
$3,000.
Yeah. So I mean, if you really wanted a full size cabinet, you at least get the cab from here because these cutouts are not very expensive. I mean, $395, $595.
That's not bad, really.
No.
Yeah, like what would be cool is to get like the Nintendo cab and then build a Nintendo based arcade.
Yep. I mean, they have the pinball, got the cocktails. I mean, they sell all the. I mean, look at that Tron, man. Look at that.
That is cool.
That's pretty freaking cool. That's $2,200. But just getting the shells. I mean, I think they're really reasonable
Look
don't
at
have
the Vulex clone. Wow.
Here's a low boy, 2-player low boy, jukebox. They even have jukebox. I mean, they have a bunch of different. They even got the tabletops. They got the pedestals. So I think it's pretty cool. I mean, reasonable too. Really reasonable. So if you don't have the equipment to cut out the wood and stuff, you can get it from here, and then everything else, you could customize yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think it's really reasonable.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So all you have to do is put it together instead of because that was always my problem. I was like, man, I don't have all that equipment to cut out wood and all that. It's
Yeah.
like, because one time I thought about making my own, and I came across this company. I was like, I don't have to do the hard part. I don't have to cut out the cabinet. Did it for you. And seeing there's a
virtual pen.
Yeah. But I thought it was really cool. So stumble across that. So anybody wants to make arcade full size, they're all full size too. So they're all like 7 foot. Most of these. Some of them are probably a little bit smaller, but
yeah, that's cool.
I thought that was pretty cool. Look at you got Dragon's Lair on that one. But I thought this where was that Tron one, man? They have lit up and stuff. It's pretty damn cool. Where'd that go? I don't remember what. Oh, there it is. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. It's pretty slick.
There it is. Got the disc down there.
Yep.
Oh, they even have clear balls on the joysticks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that company. If anybody's interested in making their own cab.
That DIY retro company I was telling you about, that they sell those kind of joysticks and stuff. A lot of those parts you can get from them to build that kind of a build.
Yeah, there you go. Get the cabinet from this place and then get everything else.
All your controls and buttons and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. I mean, like I said, it's reasonable because everything else really isn't that expensive. Monitors, joystick, buttons, those are pretty inexpensive. I mean, it's just like the Mr. Do I made back there, taking the cab away. I didn't have to buy a monitor or nothing, but everything I bought for it was less than $200. The Raspberry Pi was the most expensive thing, which was around $100.
Yeah,
joysticks and buttons and the wiring, that stuff was all even the amplifier, the display amplifier I had to use or circuit board thing. I mean,
pretty
all that
affordable.
stuff it was all so cheap. So I mean, they're inexpensive once you get away from the cabinet. The cabinet's your most expensive thing, and probably the second would be your monitor. But yeah, like the Raspberry Pi, I paid what, $105 for? To run everything. They're pretty simple once you get away from the cabinet build. And they have a lot, like you saw, they had a lot of different styles you can choose from.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to do a freaking Disc of Tron environmental cab, man. That'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
Only $600 for the cabinet. And then here's another company I found. Some of you guys might have heard of this one, Extreme Home Arcades. Did you ever hear of that one?
No, I haven't heard of this one.
You haven't heard of Extreme? They're the first ones.
Okay.
I started to look at. I stumbled across these when I was first trying to find to buy an arcade before I knew what arcade.
Mind equals blown. That's a Missile Command graphic on the side of that arcade. I know what that is. That's Missile Command.
Yeah, they have classics. They have some unique ones. As I scroll down here, they're all multicades. You got the Donkey Kong. Cool thing about these,
themed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're multicade. And like you see here, you got the trackball. You got the Tron. This one has the Tron stick.
Yeah, it's got everything. It's got a spinner.
Yeah, there's the spinner in the middle there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's these all are multicades, and it's kind of cool too. They have two sets. Some come with a flight yoke, and some of them come with a different. I can't remember. We'll see them. Look at this Tron one.
Yeah.
Funny thing though, this is the Tron, right? Look, they only have a Tron joystick or a flight stick.
Yeah.
It's a different one, but Donkey Kong has a Tron one.
Donkey Kong has the blue one. Yeah, I know. Got it backwards.
Yeah. Look at that though, man. They're using that black light down here.
It is cool.
It's supposed to go. You guys probably don't want to know the prices though. We got a Star Wars one here. Yeah, look at this Tron one. Okay, there you go. They got the rate.
That's nice.
Look at that.
Like a neon, huh?
Yeah, look at this
Wow.
underneath. Here's some cool cabinets. There's some other cool ones on here. Well, they're all cool.
They have a Conan the Barbarian one. 137. 137, please. That is crazy.
And then that's the other one they have.
Look at that.
Have the guns.
Uh-huh.
Conan the Barbarian.
Someone was a real Conan fan.
And then you can even get your favorite NFL team.
Well, that's cool. They'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, they'll customize anything you want.
They got a Mountain Dew cab.
Yep. This is Back to the Future?
Yep.
It's a GRS ride. Supercade. Here's all the other football. There's a Donkey Kong Jr. So you can get them with this setup, or you can get them with joystick buttons and guns.
Mm.
So you play the shooter ups. That's the same one, but it's pretty. These are pretty neat, but they're a couple grand for them. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're just running. I mean, it's just a MAME build. You know, you just run a MAME. The only thing that's bad about this, I mean, I have a really nice MAME arcade, and the thing is, though, you really can't play anyone online or anything with it. You know, it's just like,
yeah, true.
It's just MAME in a fancy box. You know.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be cool to get that online. You see, some of them you have a drawer where you can store your controllers and that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of. They even have. I think they do have some. I thought they had some pinball.
I like the retro ones. Like I probably like the Missile Command one the most. I don't know why, even though it's nothing like the Missile Command cabinet. It's just the graphics.
Cool,
the retro graphics to me are cool. I love retro stuff. That's why when iiRcade made the Space Invaders, that's what pushed me to get it. Really, you know, it's like it looked retro. You know, I like the retro look.
Yeah, they do have cocktail tabletops. I thought they had pinball too, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they have everything but that. So I thought that company was pretty neat, but they are expensive. I think they go from 2,000 to 4,000. My whole purpose was I was trying to find another company that kind of ranks around Arcade 1-Up, you know, somewhat competition wise.
Yeah,
and, they're not. I mean, all these are full size too, so that's another reason why they had the full size price with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, none of them are cheap. Do the Tron arcade talk? It would be great content.
I mean, the Arcade 1-Up, they really made, you know, having like a classically themed arcade affordable, you know? I mean,
yep.
But we have a lot of selection. We have a lot of good companies to choose from right now, you know? I mean, at Games, you've got iiRcade, you've got Arcade 1-Up. You got 3 good companies that make very affordable, good home arcades products, you know? It's just a lot to choose from.
Yeah, there is.
Depending on what you like, you know, depending on what you want.
I'm still going to get at Games pinball. I'm waiting for that new one to come out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to pay that. You guys think it's going to be around $1,000?
At least. You should.
At least a 4K one.
You should pick up an Legends Ultimate is a good arcade, multicade. You can put coin ops on it and you can play thousands of games.
That'd be cool.
If you ever see one of those used, pick it up. I'll hook you up with the sauce to get you all the games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll give you the sauce for free. Just get the arcade. Yeah, but sometimes like there was one in my local area that someone's selling for like $300. It's pretty good, you know.
Yeah, that is pretty good. Wow, $300.
You know, and
Yeah, I
But
could
get
look
the
at my.
to me the At Games one. I like the Ultimate more because it has the spinners and has a trackball. So like you could play more arcade games on it. You know, you have all
Yeah.
the trackball games you can play.
That's why that one there
At
had all
Games
the.
makes a good product. I mean, you can. They've also done a lot where you can buy like packs of different games and stuff. Like they have this Activision pack. Like I like Atari stuff, so like I've been playing some of my Atari games on my At Games lately. Just just mix it up a little bit. But I like it. They did a good job. They converted them well to work on their hardware, which is not so easy to do. Like I immediately thought, like when I got the Active, I thought, man, they're gonna mess up Kaboom. They're not gonna have Kaboom right. That's an Atari game. I was like, there's no way they're gonna get this right with their spinner, but it plays really good. I was surprised.
No, that's good.
They spent some time. They got it emulated good. It works good.
Oh yeah, I remember Kaboom. Yeah.
It was a paddle game on the 2600. Paddle games are usually pretty hard because they're analog controls.
Oops. Yeah, I forgot about that game. I think I had that.
Dude, it's still super addictive.
Look at it. There it is.
Like I
Kaboom.
had that on my Atari on my real TV, and I handed it to my grandson, and then he was mesmerized by it. It's like, because it drops bombs and you basically are following like a pattern. It's a really cool game. It really holds up pretty well. I mean, it's just a fun game in general. Just the mechanics of it.
Look, somebody made arcade.
That is crazy.
Todd Rogers. There's a couple of them. There's another one.
That is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I would have kept all those freaking games, man. My mom just threw them away. Bloop. I don't want commentary though.
They're making games for the Atari 2600 in 2023. They have a new game out.
They do?
Yeah, Zookeeper.
Really?
Someone made Zookeeper for the Atari 2600. It looks awesome. I need to pick it up.
This new?
Yeah, brand new. I just saw a review on it. It was I saw it today on YouTube.
You can only play on
And,
a 2600? I don't have a 2600.
They had ported it to the 2600 Zookeeper, and they had made the version. Looks really good too.
Man, I can't believe that. Now I got to get a 2600. Yeah, I forgot all about this game. Man, look how fast he's going.
Yeah, it ramps up gradually. The idea is you're catching the little bombs in the buckets of water.
You got 3 layers.
Yep. And then each time you die, you lose one of the buckets.
Oh, that's what it is. Man.
Yeah, and eventually you just have one.
Then you lose.
It's a real basic game, but it is fun. You see the way it's speeding up.
I know. Look how fast it goes, man. Dang.
It ramps up. It like sucks you in. It's one of those games. It's like easy when it starts, so it kind of sucks you into it.
Yeah, they always ramp it up. The cat is really easy, man. And then you get a couple levels, like, holy crap.
Yeah. The best games do that. I mean, they start off pretty easy, and then they slowly ramp it up.
Man. I can't believe somebody made a game in 2023.
Yeah.
Dang. Bit LCD 4-player deck, all controls, Steam. So you can actually put your Steam library to At Games. I didn't know you could do that.
I think you basically use it as a screen, as the monitor as a screen, and then you I don't know. Carl would know, apparently.
And Goofyfoot, because Goofyfoot says At Games and add your Steam library. You have Game Overload. Yeah, I got quite a few games on Steam. Don't have an ALU. I have an ALP. Gunslut. What the? Kaboom Rocks. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had all my games from Atari 2600 because it was cool too. Because once the 7800 came out and all that, those games for 2600 went cheap. I was buying them for like $1 or $2.
Legends Link application wirelessly streams Steam games from your PC. How's that work? I need to learn how that works.
Legends Link application. Legends Link application. So that's in the game or in the arcade cabinet, I guess.
It must be
That
something
link?
you have to have on your PC to make it do that.
It's wireless.
Yeah.
It's going through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi.
I don't know. I haven't done that yet.
Carl O's got to hook you up, man.
I know. He's got to teach me how it works. That's the thing. The At Games does a lot, but you have to learn a lot. It can do a lot, but it's like you got to learn how to work it.
Pinball like that too? Because like the pinball, how do you get the games on that? You do
the pinball is easy. Like you can buy the games, or you can do both. You can buy the games, or you can use like a PC and play pinball games on the Legends pinball.
So when you buy a game for pinball, does it automatically go to your?
Yeah, you buy like a pack of games, and it just downloads them onto the machine.
Oh, okay. Because doesn't it have like a?
You can also play games like from a PC on the At Games pinball. I don't do it, but I know if, like my friend Punk Rock Dave, he's big time into that now. He's gotten into the virtual pinball using, but then you need a PC, and I mean it could be done.
Oh.
I don't have time for it right now, but it looks like it's fun.
Because don't those pinballs have like a USB slot? You can hook up a thing into them. Don't they have USB slots? The pinball. Where you put
The pinball has USB. Yes.
There's people, I think some people are using that, putting a the little USB card in there, downloading games or something. I'm not real sure. I don't know nothing about it. One of these days, I'll know.
It's wireless through your local network from PC to ALU. I played all those Steam games Cuddles once. Huh, interesting.
Well, there you go. Through your network. Just use your Wi-Fi, man.
I got good Wi-Fi. Need to figure out how it works.
Okay, I found one company that kind of competes with Arcade 1-Up and all those guys. I don't know if anybody's heard of these guys or not. But it's Doc and Pies Arcade Factory.
Doc and Pies. Never heard of them.
You see, made in USA. Arcade machines, the most
That's
powerful
cool.
and fun-filled arcade machines on the market today. They're the most powerful and fun-fulfilled. Their table, it's kind of like the Neo Geo one, actually. They actually have a couple cocktails. And you see they're priced about the same as Arcade 1-Up. Like a Galka, like a Pac-Man. Frog.
Look at that. That Pac-Man looks weird. Look at it looks like the top of it's bigger than the bottom. It's a pretty
cool,
crazy
right?
looking cab. Yeah, it's good. It's cool looking, but it's kind of different.
Cool thing with this, you can get two versions, 412 games or 60 games. It's a $50 difference. But look, you get 412 games on one cabinet. Is there Moon Patrol in there? Moon Alien.
Using some kind of board.
Yep. But it's kind of cool because, like I said, it's like 412 games, 750. And then they have 60. Like this Miss Pac-Man has 60 games. It's $700.
Yeah, it's a 60 in one.
$700, and their tabletop, but it's like the Neo Geo. You can actually buy the stand for it, and there's the stand.
Okay, yeah, that's like a just like a 3/4 scale arcade. Then,
Yep, because that's how like the Neo Geo is, isn't it?
that's how iiRcade does it too. There's like a base and a top, and they just put them together.
I was looking on here. They do not give you the measurements of the base, but the top part is 34 inches tall. So they almost look like they're identical size-wise. So I'm thinking this bottom might be 34 as well. So it'd be 68 inches tall, which is a little taller than Arcade 1-Ups. That's almost 7 foot. 72 inches is 7 foot, right? Or is that 6 foot? I can't remember. But they're slightly taller, and they're at the same price. So 700 plus 4, yeah, you're looking a little over around $1,200. So I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know this company existed. I wonder how they play though, and I'm not sure if these marquees are lit up. It doesn't give you a lot of information on these.
Yeah.
You know, they say they're on sale, but I don't know. I think they're always on sale because who knows going to pay $1,150 for a tabletop. But it does have a lot of games though.
Yeah.
Decent amount of games. But they're the only company I found so far that's kind of reasonably comes close to Arcade 1-Up with the pricing. And cool thing though is you get a lot more games with these.
Yeah, well, you actually get more games with the at games though. Coin Ops has like 5,000 in some games.
Damn.
Yeah.
Ain't 412 enough?
Yeah, 412 is a lot, but 5,000 is pretty good.
Look, I like to even have the speaker grills they have that kind of theme to Donkey Kong. I think all
the thing that at games did right is they have the control panel has all the controls. You got a trackball, you got a spinner, you got double joysticks, and it's all arcade parts. So like if something breaks, you can just put in a new one. It's like it's like the hap buttons just snap right in there, the same size. But
yeah, that is cool that they did that.
Yeah.
I think these all are 19-inch screens as well.
Yeah.
The tabletops, I'm pretty sure these are. Yeah, even the
at games has a custom screen. It's like the black levels on that screen. I don't know how they spec'd it, but they spec'd it really good. It's like it's got perfect black. When you play those like games like Galaga and Robotron and stuff, it's really striking the way they did the screen on the at games. Very good.
Oh, that's at games, yeah. So it seems like at games and iiRcade definitely have done pretty good on all their stuff. Seems like Arcade 1-Up is kind of like down below those two, I think, in certain aspects. I have an 8K build, but the base arcade build is nearly 2,000 arcade titles. I usually only run Atari, NES, and SNES. Nice, Carl. Yep. One of these days, man. And you guys said, was it Carl? Somebody said that the At Games new pinball's coming out, at least for pre-orders this summer, right?
Yeah. I think the pre-orders are going live in the summer.
That'd be cool. I want an iiRcade TM, and I need to pick up. No, I did not comment since I did not hear about The Last of Us launch. Did you hear about it, papabrad?
I
have not. I haven't really been paying attention to anything about other games. I've been trying to get through my stuff, man. With all my, I still got to do my coin door light up. I got to do my Mr. Do bezel.
I thought you would have that bezel on by now.
Oh, man.
What's the holdup? You're slacking. What's the holdup? Life is a holdup. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I did BD. I did him. Did a review on that sucker.
Oh yeah.
Look what came today, man.
Oh, that's awesome. Is that a Dig Dug sign? That's pretty cool. That's nice.
Walmart, $12, Hobby Lobby. I did a video on it. I'll be coming out.
That is cool. That is cool. I love Dig Dug. That's awesome.
I think. Oh man, it looks like it does too. It looks like it reacts to the black light I have.
Is it black? Is it black light reactive?
It's not supposed to be, but I think it might.
White is normally looks crazy under black light.
Yeah, true.
Looks like purple, huh?
Yep. It's hard to tell. I got my black lights on. It's kind of hard to tell because I got that light in the front. But I think it might, at least, like you said, at least a white world.
They're talking about virtual pinball in the chat. And you know what the funny part is? Waybacks put out a virtual pinball. At the end, I didn't even talk about that, but at the end of the pinballs, they have a virtual pinball, and it plays pretty much every other pinball table.
Oh, wow.
And even at Waybacks, like when I talk to the guy that does all the restoration, like he says, you know, if you want to learn how to play pinball, play virtual pinball, because you will learn all the tables. And then when you play real pinball, you'll have a lot deeper appreciation on the game.
That's true.
And that is true. I mean, like, and that's not the first time I've heard that from people that are super into pinball. But I thought that was cool that they put one out, and you could, like, because it is not a quarter-based arcade. It's free play model. So, like, all the games that are there are there to entertain you. So, like, why not have a virtual pinball with all the games? And pretty cool. I didn't even get a chance to play it because, you know, I had one day. You know, it's like, it's too much. It's just too much. For one day, it's too much. Like, I got there as soon as I could.
You were there all day, though.
I was there all day, and I feel like I didn't even scratch the surface of like the stuff I could be playing there. It's like insane.
What game did you end up playing, though? At least one you could think of.
I played a lot of the pinball. I played the X-Men 6-player all the way through. I played one round of X-Men all the way through on that machine because it's amazing to play a restored full, like a 6-player X-Men. Like, playing that was worth taking the time to play all the way through. They had 2 pinballs I'd never played before. They had Waterworld, which is a Kevin Costner movie. You remember that movie, Waterworld?
Oh, yeah.
But, pinballs are crazy. Like it doesn't matter if the movie was good or not. Sometimes it's a great pinball, and it might be just like an okay movie. A great movie might have just an okay pinball. It's crazy, but you have to play them. Yeah. And it was pretty cool. It had a cool multi-ball element for the Waterworld game. I never played it before.
I think I've seen it before, never played it. I think I might have saw it. Did you have it in your video anywhere?
I'm going to have it in the upcoming one, I think. And then I played, they had this Shack pinball that they've restored, and it was insanely hard to restore. You actually shoot baskets with the pinballs. It's crazy. It has this, like, piece of plexiglass in the middle so the ball doesn't, like, fly off and get jammed into stuff. Very cool. And then I played the Funhouse pinball that they just got from Texas Pinball Festival. The machine was incredible. God knows how long that must have took to make. It's just super cool.
TM, you're gonna give me a wrench, man. I'm glad you said that, Carl, because I meant to do that last week for you. So you have a wrench now. Yeah, I was thinking about that last week. I was like, I got to give Carl a wrench, and I totally forgot. So I'm glad you said that, man. So I'm not hanging out over on YouTube. I'm on that StreamYard, so I can't see who. I wish you could see who has a wrench on StreamYard, but you can't.
Sam said he went to the Universal Studios Waterworld ride as a kid.
Yeah,
cool.
I did too. Yeah, I saw the Waterworld. Is it Universal? Yeah, they have at least one down in Florida actually has a Waterworld boat action thing you can sit through. Do you ever see that?
I've never seen it. It sounds cool though.
Yeah, they have jet skis, boats, and all that. They got some explosions and all that. I saw that.
I always like the Indiana Jones stunt thing that they do. That's a pretty cool show. You know, they have the different scenes from the Indiana Jones movies, and they do like a stunt show around it. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. See, the GPUs that have 12 or more gigabytes of VRAM, such as 3090 and greater, or the AMD 6700. Talking something about computers.
GPUs have 12 or more gigabyte of VRAM. AMD. I never owned an AMD chip.
No, you always go Intel.
Yep.
Intel all the way.
Yep. I've had i3, i5, and I think I had my new one is i7.
Okay. Oh, is The Last of Us available for PC now? Is that what they're talking about? I played that game on the PS4. Yeah, the original Last of Us I played all the way through. I played the first one, but not the second one. It was pretty good. It's a pretty good game.
Coming since the Last of Us launched on Steam with a mostly negative rating, but is now mixed. Man, that sucks coming. I guess the PS5 version is the best. Still the best. So there must have been.
When I was at Best Buy, they had PS5s in stock. You know, I just did those walk and talks where I was walking through Best Buy. They had PS5s if you wanted one.
I finally got two.
Are they becoming? They must be becoming more available because they had them at both Best Buys.
Oh, and it took them 3 years.
Yeah.
Fucking
By
ridiculous.
the time we can get it, they'll have a PS6 probably.
Well, they already got the new version out for the PS5. So did they have the version 2 PS5 at Best Buy?
They had the one that comes with God of War. It was a God of War model. I don't know what one that is, but it came with God of War.
Didn't that God of War come out like in November? That might be the version 2.
I think so.
Because the new version was supposed to launch end of last year, version 2. So they might have the version 2 on there. I think the ones I got are version 2. I know some people are mad. They're like, hey, I should wait for version 2, but I don't know how much difference there is.
I don't know if I'd play it. Like, I have a PS4 and I don't even play it. Like, I just play arcade games. I mean, I don't know. It's not getting in much use.
Man, I mean, I haven't turned my PS4 on. I need to turn mine on because
I need to turn mine on, at least update it, because I'm sure it's out of date.
Yeah, because there's been
sad.
Last time I turned mine on, there was an update. Because I got to get on there a little more, man. I need to do more ARC videos for my other channel. Kind of slacking on my ARC videos, but
slacking
on those because I really haven't been on my PS4 since January. I think played a little bit of Fortnite.
Now, is ARC available for PC and PS4?
Yeah, it's actually now they're everywhere now.
Which version's better?
PC version.
PC best.
Yeah, because PC gets all the mods and stuff that people make. You know, people make a mod, and PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch. Those ones are decent, but the PC, I'm not sure about Steam because ARC had their own platform. I'm not sure if Steam is following the same as the true PC version. But yeah, they get all the mods and the cool shit on PC, man. There's so much stuff on PC that you can't get on console. I think one reason is because they're not as powerful as a PC. So, and ARC launched on PC first. I think PC was out for 2 years before it went to console.
That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, ARC 2 is coming out next year. I think it's gonna be late this year, early next year. I think ARC 2. Van Diesel is going to be in it.
Well, the PC version is made by the same company behind the Arkham Knight. Yeah, I do love those Batman games. Those were really good. All the re-released, like the modern Batman games, they were really good.
Are they?
Yeah, they were really fun. I played through those.
Oh wow, Walmart has a PS5 in stock. Dang. You sell one of them, Sam? Sold one of those, man. If you'd bought 2, you'd get some good money out of those, man. People were selling those things for $1,000. I refused to pay $1,000 for that. So I waited and waited.
Yeah, I hear you.
I can't.
Like now it's available, and I don't know. I'm not interested right now. I mean,
I bought one, but just because I didn't think you could get them, I was like, you can get it. Hurry! My son wants one. I can't say it real loud. I don't want him to hear me.
Okay.
I did get him one.
Yeah, that PS2 VR looks cool.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Menace has that.
Is that the one Brooklyn Menace has? He has
Yeah,
the PS?
he does the PSVR.
Because a lot of people were waiting for that version 2 to come out because it was supposed to be a lot better than version 1.
Yeah, I'm still playing these Dreamcast games. That's what I'm into. Dreamcast.
We should get Brooklyn on here sometime. We could talk VR.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love this. Did he have version 1?
I'll talk to Brooklyn tomorrow. We need to get him to come on a show. He'd be fun to have on.
Yeah, not next week though. Not
next week. Okay.
Because next week we're gonna be talking.
Hey Thor, what's happening, man? Good to see you here.
Hey,
He's got a PS5.
I got a PS5. What I need is the PSVR 2. Did Brooklyn have the version of VR? Do you know?
I think he's been into VR a lot. He has like all the different VR. He has the Quest. He has a bunch of VR stuff.
I would like to see if there's a true difference between version 1 and version 2. Love to know if there's a difference or not. Because there's supposed to be some people I talked to said there was supposed to be a huge difference. Because there was some glitch in version 1, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to somebody that had both versions.
Yeah, Brooklyn knows a lot about VR. There was a glitch, like the first batch of them had some issues with the PSVR, from what I understand. But
version 2,
I don't know if it's a different version, but I know the initial batch they had some issues. But I think they worked it out.
I know Kevgret, he has PSVR 2, right then? Because he's the one that said you had to do the blow test like you used to do the old.
Yeah, kevgret's didn't work. It was broken right out the box.
But it really wasn't. I watched his video. He said most likely with his first one he returned. The second one did exactly the same thing. There's something stuck in the left controller, I think. Something was stuck in there, and you had to blow on it or tap it.
Really?
Blow and tap,
wow.
And you could release it. And once you released it, it worked.
It was fine. Okay.
Yeah, I watched Kevin Grat's video on that. He's like, you had to do the old blow test like you used to do your old cartridge.
Like the old Nintendo cartridges?
Yeah, blow the dust out.
Yeah.
And then put it back in there, it works. So that's what he said. That was the only issue with. That's what the issue was with that. And he did a video on it, and it worked. It actually showed it worked. I have the driving chair. Oh man, Thor has the version 2. I have the driving chair. I just need a PlayStation wheel. My wheel is Xbox. PSVR 2 for the ultimate driving experience. Dude, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I never played any VR, man. I never played. I didn't want to get VR when my son was little because they say kids playing VRs are not good for their eyesight. And it couldn't really make their eyesight go bad quicker than normal. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
I think it's because it's so up close to your eyes. If you're in there for hours and hours and hours, you don't have that depth. Your eyes are not always focusing close, far, close. I think it's your eyes are too constant for your eye development. So that's why I never got VR. Now my son's 19, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, on all this stuff, even really
this new VR, it tracks your eye movements. It says the biggest upgrade is eye tracking. It tracks your eyes.
Really?
Sounds like it from what Thor's saying.
Yeah, I see that. You should get a Quest 2. Star Wars Pinball VR is fantastic. Wow. VR pinball, man. What do you think of that one, Papa Brad? Damn.
It'd probably be pretty fun. I got so much stuff I collect right now. I think my wife might put her foot down if I get another thing that I'm into to collect, another hobby.
Yeah, I don't have any.
She's pretty patient. She's pretty patient so far, but I don't want to push. I don't want to push the envelope.
Hey, what's up, Phil from PD7?
Hey, it's PD7. What's happening?
You made the show, man. That's all right, man.
What mod are you working on, or is that top secret? He said he was working on a mod.
Yeah, I'm working on a mod tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, what we're gonna do next week is, if people don't know, they're in the chat. Arcade 1-Up is gonna release their Arcade 1-Up are gonna have another live stream next Thursday at 6 p.m.
Mhm.
Eastern, I do believe. They're going to announce their new cabinet. So we're going to come on at 9:15 p.m. 3 hours later to talk about what the release is. Most likely it's going to be Fast and Furious. So we're going to be talking about that next week. And I'd like to get Phil on. I still haven't talked to Phil about it, but I'd like to get Phil on next week, get his thoughts on if it is the Fast and Furious Deluxe Cab, what his reactions are. But definitely something is coming out. If it's not that, I don't know what else would be. I mean, there's no other rumors out there, but Fast and Furious for Arcade One.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool though? They gave us something different. Like psych.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready to launch. We're ready to, we're launching, Missile Command. We're launching Qbert. I mean, that would be cool.
Oh, that would be cool. Qbert.
That would be surprised if they did something like that.
Oh, releasing Miss Pac-Man Deluxe.
Poor Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man got canceled. She was all ready. She was all dressed up and ready to come out as a deluxe cabinet. Then at the last minute, they pulled it away from her. No Miss Pac-Man for you.
Not you, ma'am. We take it away. Did Phil say what he's working on?
Actually, though, I'll be honest. I did like the Mortal Kombat Deluxe more than the Pac-Man Deluxe. I didn't get to play Class of 1981. Maybe it's different. I'll have to try it. But I did like the Mortal Kombat Deluxe more than the Pac-Man Deluxe.
Oh yeah, and then that.
I swear, you have the Namco Legacy cab, don't you have the Namco Legacy just like me?
Yes, back there.
I swear the Deluxe Pac-Man is off. Like I was trying to do patterns and stuff, and they weren't working.
Yeah, you said that. I remember you saying that in the video.
I know arcade games pretty cold. Like I'm a classic arcade gamer. Like a Pac-Man game for me is normally over 100,000 or more. So I don't know.
Well, that's pretty cool. Thor says it's not only comes with 10 pinball games. You get a room you can walk around in to look at the statues and posters you unlock in the game. That's pretty cool. Hey Phil, congrats on your pinball pack win. Oh, Phil won a pinball pack. Where'd you get that at? Love the game.
Wow. A Funko Pop that's worth $1,100. Congratulations, Thor. Which one is that? I have one Funko Pop that's rare. I have the Bruce Lee Funko Pop. And that one is pretty rare. I'm gonna go get it real quick.
All right.
I'm gonna show you this real quick. Do a little show and tell. This is the only one I think I have that's kind of rare.
Oops. Yeah, same. I like that Class of 81 too. And I was watching, I forget his name. He was doing a video on the deluxe and the original Class of 81, and the deluxe version. Miss Pac-Man Blue is really close to the real Class of 81 arcade that you see in arcade rooms. The original actually was a lighter blue than deluxe, so they did correct the blue color on Miss Pac-Man on this deluxe, which is nice to see. I figured it was Rascal's Basement Arcade. I forgot. Carl told us to go over there, and I forgot. Darn it. That's cool. What pinball packs did you get, Phil? Gold. Gecko. Chaotic. And that was a pinball pack? So, Chaotic is the pack you got, I guess? Dr. Seuss. Oh, you got the Dr. Seuss pinball pack too. Nice, man. Do you have At Games pinball, Phil? That's awesome that you won something over there. PD7. Nice, man. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, that Dr. Seuss looks really cool, that pack. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, thanks for shouting them out there. Yeah, shout out to Brian Chaotic. Is that what you say that? Yeah, I did 81 review. It's amazing that the Blues are like off on his. Give me.
Oh, come on now. There it is. Can you see it? It's too much reflections. It's Bruce Lee from Game of Death with the yellow nunchucks. How cool is that? I'm gonna take him out of here so you can see him better.
Let's say take him out of the box, man.
I'll take him out of the box.
Take him out of the box.
Taking him out of the box. Oh no, it's not collectible anymore. I just uncollectible, and now I've lost all my value. Is gone.
Just think if you dropped it and it broke.
No.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know that, Phil.
Pretty cool. Like, I don't know. These things are addictive. Like I have to stop buying them. Like I started buying them for a while, then I got so many of them. I'm like, I mean, they're cool, but I mean, they make a pop for everything now.
Yep.
Like this, anything that's pop culture has a pop made for it. It's pretty crazy. Anyway, when I found out this one was a little bit valuable, I bought this little plastic thing for it. So
I thought you were going to take them totally out of the box.
Oh no.
Take them all totally out of the box.
Totally
Free
out of the box. Free them?
Free them.
Oh man.
No, you don't have to.
See.
That one's worth a little bit of money?
Yeah, a little bit.
How much?
I have no idea, but
100?
Probably something. I don't know if it's even worth that, but
so which one did Thor have for $1,100? It's worth $1,100. Is it that golden?
Like you can't find this one anywhere. It's pretty hard to find.
I've never seen
it. There he is. Oh, you can see him good now. Anyway, I love Bruce Lee movies. I don't know. I've always loved Bruce Lee movies since I was a little kid. I mean, all the way back when I was a kid, they used to have what they call Kung Fu Theater.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It would come on, and that usually like on Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and they would show these. But every once in a while they'd show a real Bruce Lee movie, and that was pretty awesome. I mean, I've always been a fan.
Okay, what is this? Gold gecko. Oh wow, they only made 100 of those golden geckos. Wow. Yeah, I don't have any pops. Not one.
Yeah. I have like a lot of them. I have like all the arcade ones too. I have all the Pac-Man, like the whole. Sometimes like they'll do these like series, and then like if you really get into it, you want to get them all.
Yeah,
I have a Q-Bird. I have all the variations of Pac-Man that they have, including Miss Pac-Man. I don't know why I started collecting them. I just did, and then I'm like, oh, I only need this one, You get like a few of them, and then before you know it, you have like all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't get into it.
Yeah.
Only thing I have that's collectible. Well, I got some of the Star Wars stuff that's collectible.
I have a lot of comic books, or what I have. It's the stuff that I have that's ultra collectible.
Don't go and get me started with comic books.
It's ridiculous the amount of comic books I have.
My dad had ones when he was a kid. He grew up in the 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
He had ones from the 50s, 40s.
True. Yeah, the Silver Age ones are worth the most.
Guess what my mom did with them?
She threw them away with your Atari cartridges and your other stuff.
Yep.
Gosh.
Threw them all away.
Oh.
Now how much those things would have been worth. And they were in good condition too, man. I mean,
I know.
He still had them when I was still little. He still had them. And they were all in good shape, but my mom went bloop.
Yeah, Bruce Lee's worth $75. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Pretty good.
It's not bad. I mean,
but one thing I did keep on my dad's is from the 1930s. I
like it. That's why I bought it though.
My dad had a train, electric train from the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I still had the original boxes. In the train itself, the engine. I got it fixed because it wouldn't make the the smoke and wouldn't make the noise and all that.
They had Lionel train.
Yeah, it's a Lionel
It's a
train.
Lionel because those are collectible. I know.
The engine itself, the guy that fixed it for me, he said that alone, he was going to give me $500 for just the engine. And that was back 20 years ago. It's from the 30s. I think 1933. Because like I said, I still have the original boxes for the engine and some of the cars. So that's the only thing I have that's collectible. And I keep it in my living room under our coffee table. Because like the guy said, do not put it in any damp areas. So you can't put it in the basement, right? Because it's damp in basements.
Right.
So I didn't want to put up in the second floor because it gets hot up on our second floor. So I'm like, the only place I put it is the living room.
Keep it climate control. Keeping a climate control environment. Yeah.
It's in a box, but it's the only area I knew that would stay like dry and relatively wouldn't get too hot, too cold in there. But everything's, I mean, it's from the 30s, man. I mean, it's almost 100 years old. 10 more years, it'll be 100 years old. 10 years. So I'm pretty sure it's from 1933. So that's the only thing I really have collectible. I think my Millennium Falcon is collectible. I got one of those big ones from I think from 1979 or it was 1979 or 1980.
Okay.
And I still have the original box for that one, and the original box is in really good condition too. And I have all the pieces to it. So I was watching that Pawn Stars. And they had Star Wars stuff on there, and they said the action figures are not really worth a whole lot unless you have the lightsabers and the guns. Because I guess it's very rare to have the guns with your little action figure Star Wars. And me and my brother.
Those are easy to lose.
Yeah, we still have all of ours. I don't think we lost any of our guns or the lightsabers.
That's crazy.
So we could probably get some decent money for those. Don't have the original boxes anymore, but we do have the guns, which I didn't know that was, it makes sense why you don't see a whole lot of them because they're so small and it'd be so easy to lose. But I'm not sure how much they're worth though with the guns and that. Probably double the price because you can't find the guns, right? But it's only worth $75. I think that's pretty good though. Your Bruce Lee being $75.
Yeah, I think it's.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. It should go up in price. Because over time people lose that stuff, right? So it makes them more valuable when they're.
Yeah, this is a weird one. It's like made by like a shoe company or some bait. It was an exclusive one. I don't know, but yeah, I know some of the pops are very valuable.
Yeah, Thor has one. The Golden Gecko, $700, man. That'd be sweet. You have to go thrifting, man, and see if somebody got rid of one they didn't know what they had.
You know what Star Wars vehicle I had when I was a kid for the action figures? I had the Darth Vader TIE Fighter. And it had an LED in it. You'd press a button and it would make a noise, and you could push the buttons and the wings would pop off of it.
Yep.
I had the TIE Fighter, Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
It's cool.
Yeah, Darth Vader's. I don't think it's called it's not called a TIE Fighter. What's Darth Vader's ship called?
Yeah,
it's not something
I can't
else.
remember. Yeah, his is called something else.
Darth Vader's ship.
Oh, I wanted one of those Millennium Falcons so bad when I was a kid. I do have the Lego version now, which is awesome, but nothing compares to the original. Yeah, mine's original. And the thing is, I was starting to get too old to play with it because I was the youngest. My brothers, I would play, but my brothers were getting too old. They were getting to be teenagers, so they didn't want to play. So I really didn't play. Oh, man,
there you go. See, Thor knows. It's the Darth Vader TIE Interceptor. That's what it was called. Yeah. He knows. That's correct. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the X-Wing. Me and my brother had X-Wing. Me and my brother.
X-Wings were cool.
Yeah. Two of us had X-Wing, and then my other brother had a TIE Fighter. He didn't have the Darth Vader one. He just had a regular TIE Fighter.
They had a bunch of Star Wars stuff in the case. They had like a glass case at Waybacks with the Millennium Falcon in it.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I got pictures of it. They had some cool stuff in that case, though. They had the VHS tapes of the Star Wars trilogy.
I have that.
VHS tapes.
I actually have that one.
Yeah.
I actually have that one.
The actual VHS tapes, the original ones.
Yeah, I actually have that. It actually comes in a box for all three movies. I actually have that. I never threw it away. I have the DVD version too, actually.
Yeah, the non Lucas, like, remember they redid them and they ruined a lot of stuff, like from the original, like, you know, where Han shoots first. There's certain things they changed.
Yeah,
you know, because Lucas was like, "Oh, this is what I meant to do," but you know, I don't know, whatever.
Sam Arcade says, "Do you all collect MK statues?" I did not know they made MK statues. Do you collect any of those, Papa Red?
No. I'm not super into fighting games. Although I do want to learn how to play Mortal Kombat better. I would like to learn how to play that game. The only fighting game I play well is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm not too bad at that one, but I'm not that good at Street Fighter.
I could do a show, man, with
yeah, people do a really, like, there's a lot of strategies, like people that get into fighting games. I mean, like, especially Street Fighter, there's just a ton of things. Like when you play better players that really know what they're doing, it's like a whole different level, you know?
Yep.
Stuff that they know. I mean,
I actually have. I still got the Tauntaun too, from Star Wars.
X-wing, TIE fighter, TIE interceptor, A-wing, B-wing, and shuttle. Tiderion. Tiderion. Is that Darth Vader's shuttle? Is that the one that looks like a triangle?
Yeah, the Empire one, or Emperor's.
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Yeah, I still got quite a few of my Star Wars stuff. I still got my Tauntaun.
You know, I know you fell off the Mandalorian, huh? You're not up to date on the Mandalorian. I know they have a new Mandalorian. I can't wait to watch it. I didn't get to see it. I was out at Waybacks yesterday.
I'm waiting for the series to be over so I can then watch it.
Was this last episode of the Mandalorian the season finale, or they have more coming?
They do around 10, don't they? 10 or 12. What episode is just came out?
We've had pretty many. I think they're on. Is it 7?
Yeah, I think they have a couple more than. I think it's 8 or 10. They do, I do believe. Anyone have a lightsaber from the 80s, green or red one? One for the action figures, Phil, or like actual one, like plastic one? We had them, man. Are you talking about those plastic ones? We had them, man. We actually used
the red one.
Ours all broke. We actually used them, man. They snapped. I think we had a couple lightsabers, man, but they all broke. We were too rough with them. Oh, you got a pink one. Cool.
Red.
It looks pink on the screen.
Haters.
Do you want me to get mine?
Mm-hmm.
I got
a bunch of lightsabers? You have like a whole bunch of them, huh? You got like a whole collection of them, dude.
Yeah. I got 3 up there.
Yeah?
Oh, no, 5 up there.
What color are your blades? This one's red.
I got green, red, blue. You want to see the one I really like?
Yeah, show me what's your favorite lightsaber? I know you collect these things.
Grogu's in my way. Blade. This is my newest one.
You know what I had? I had the sand crawler. I had the sand crawler with the Jawas, the little remote control one, the original one, and apparently it was a pretty good collectible. Well, that's cool.
Anybody recognize who that is?
Is that Ahsoka's?
Nope.
General Grievous?
Close. You're getting there. I got the Darth Maul
and the Skywalker lightsabers.
I got the Skywalker lightsaber. That's actually Skywalker's up there. my Tron. Darth Vader's right there, and then Skywalker's there.
The
and
Darth
then-
Vader handle is weird. Like Darth Vader's handle's not very functional. You know, it's like
you don't like that one? I like that one.
you like the Darth Vader one?
I think it feels comfortable.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I'm not too crazy. I don't like the things that are jutting out from it.
Let me see it again. I didn't. You already put it away. Yeah, see, I love that grip, man.
I heard this is a Star Wars channel.
This one's blue. Yeah, it is Star Wars.
Wow. Man, those are awesome.
It's Count Dooku.
Oh, Count Dooku. Okay, cool.
But this one is not. This is before he turned to the dark side. This is. This is back when he was still a Jedi. That one came out first. They just released on Shop Disney. It's been a couple months. They do have the dark side one. There's not much difference between them. I think because this one here, I don't know if you can tell. Everything is silver on this one. And the dark side one, I think it's gold or red. Some of the stuff like this piece here is different color. But I just love the shape of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It feels good too. Some of them are a little bulky feeling, but this one feels good.
Now those blades, they like thread into there. How does that work?
Oh, yours doesn't do that.
No, mine doesn't do that. These are deluxe. These must be the really good ones, huh?
Yeah, these are from Disney. You push down and twist. Do you hear that noise?
Okay.
And then you twist it. It's locked in there, and then.
That's awesome.
I think I paid 180 for this one.
Wow.
180 bucks, guys. It's pretty heavy too. But that was pretty cool. My favorite one really right now is Obi-Wan Kenobi's.
What's that one look like?
Get it.
Oh yeah, that's cool looking.
That's the one he uses in the Obi-Wan series.
Okay.
On Disney, that's the one. It's really cool. The reason why I like it is because up here, this part here is so cool.
Yeah.
But it almost has the Darth Vader grip. It still makes a noise even with the blade out. In this one here, I can't put the blade in it. The adapter for the blade was up there. I didn't bring that, but it's fatter, of course, up here to put the blade in it.
Do those have kyber crystals in them?
The ones I have, this one does not. You can get a Darth Vader one that has kyber crystals, and then my ones I built at Disney World do have the kyber crystals in them.
Okay.
But
I was
Disney
curious how that works. Does that change the color of the blade when you put in a different crystal?
Yep. Every time, whatever crystal color you have, it changes that color. So it doesn't matter. Like this one here, it doesn't come from the blade, the light. The light color comes from the kyber crystal.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then even like this one here, I put the same blade in this one. Then I did Darth Vader, which Darth Vader would be red, and then.
Okay, so the blades are universal.
Yeah, for the Disney ones.
Between the different Disney lightsabers, that's pretty cool.
It kind of sucks though because you almost have to stay with one brand because even Hasbro makes these. I got this one from Hasbro.
And
It's exactly the same design as Disney because they make these for Disney, right?
oh,
But-
they do? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but they freaking if you get it from Disney, the blade is different than if you get it from Hasbro. They both have different patterns, but when Hasbro makes one for Disney, they use the Disney blade, and then when they make their own,
They keep it proprietary.
Hasbro has their own blade, and they won't interact. Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So you almost have to stick with the brand and stay with the brands. And then if you any brand you go with, because there's a bunch of companies out there that make these, but every brand has a different blade design, so you can't interchange the blades with different companies' lightsabers. Kind of sucks. So that's why you kind of have to stick. With one brand. But the reason why I got the Hasbro one is Disney didn't sell very many of them. They sold out in like in an hour. So I had to go with Hasbro on this one for pre-orders. But like I said, it's exactly the same as I compared the two. And it's the same thing. Only thing's different is the blade. The blade's different. It has a different blade design. It'll fit in there, the Disney one, but it won't work. Kind of sucks. I understand why they do it, but definitely have a lot love-hate relationship with the Maul Saber. Yeah, see, I was gonna get that Maul Saber, and then I was like, it does look amazing. But my arms are still mad crazy. You have to spin it. You cannot just hold Maul's lightsaber. Did you buy two Mauls to stick them together? Because you can get two Maul sabers and stick them together. It's like a law or something. I dare anyone to hold a Maul saber without trying to spin it. Yeah, this one here at Hasbro, man, was $269 for this one.
Wow.
They're not cheap, man. But I'm trying to stick with the main people. But, he's not a main person, man. But what a cool lightsaber.
That is a cool lightsaber.
I had to get it. And it was cheaper. It was $179 instead of $200. Because it comes with the blade. It's like $250. Without the blade, it's $180. Or there's some even cheaper. I think Princess Leia is like $140. But it's like, why have a Princess Leia? She never used a lightsaber.
Yeah, what did she use a lightsaber for?
She never did.
I mean, come on now. You want Darth Vader. You want
I have.
Luke Skywalker,
Which I have.
Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Which I have.
I mean, those are the main ones that were using lightsabers.
No Princess Leia.
I mean,
I refuse to buy that one, man. It's only $140. It's like, I'm not buying it. I've never seen her use it.
Dude.
Oh, he's got.
We ate at this place today. It was so good. There was this place on the road we stopped. And, sometimes when you're driving on the road and you just see like there's a million cars there, you have to check it out. It's like, what are they giving away at this place? And so we pull into this place and it's crawfish balls.
What?
Crawfish balls. Check this out. My wife just brought me some.
Oh, you still got some left. Damn, look at that thing.
It's like fried crawfish in there with like rice and stuff. It was so good. And like people that like there was like tons of cars there and we had to stop. It's like, what are they giving away at this place? Because like we're driving on the road, and when we were going to Waybacks on the way to Alexandria.
Oh, you're actually going there.
Yeah. And we passed this place and I was like, we got to stop on the way back because something's happening there because it's just packed,
And pack on the way back too?
It's packed. You had to wait in line. Like you had to get in line to get the food. It was crazy. But, after we took some to go, they were good. So I'm going to chow down.
Man, I miss seafood down in the Gulf.
Yeah. I mean, we got good seafood, man.
I miss seafood, period, man. Being in Pittsburgh, man, there's no damn seafood.
Yeah.
If it's real seafood, it's expensive because they got to ship it. Hey, I'll be going to North Carolina. I want to be living in North Carolina. They should have some good seafood. Better than here. Man, I can't get this thing back in my lightsaber.
That's my iiRcade.
Riptide. Man, I can't get this stupid thing back in my. Cool thing about the lightsaber, they actually have a dust guard. They're a pain in the ass to get back in. Yeah, I never went there, Carlo. How is Holy's? That's downtown, man. I try to stay away from downtown, man. He used to work downtown. He used to work for Carlo. Do you know Sauer Corporation? They're a big contractor. I was an accountant for 6 or 8 years for Sauer. They actually helped build PNC Park and Heinz Field. And they did a PNC bank building downtown. Actually, was working there when they were doing the PNC Bank. Oh, dude, the sad thing about the PNC Bank, in these old buildings, you have to go in and have an inspector to make sure there's no what that shit called? Asbestos in the building. And the inspector cleared that PNC building of asbestos. Said, "Oh, all clear, no asbestos." We start working in that freaking building, man. Dropping the ceilings, asbestos just falls right on the dudes. I mean, it's so freaking sad. Those guys are gonna be dead in 10 years. I mean, like, how can you freaking fail inspection for asbestos? I mean, that shit is so fucking scary. That fucker didn't do his job. Yeah, that's true. You can ship anything with that dry ice. Do you know Sauer, Caro? They actually work for NASA too. They have I can't say we anymore. They do a lot of stuff for NASA. That Sauer. Like, anybody remember the space shuttle? That ramp that they moved the space shuttle into position to the place by the rockets, the launch. They had that moving platform. Sauer actually made that platform. It's kind of cool. The Carlo, now I just walk dogs, man. I'm not.
There's a Space Ace from the iiRcade. Look how sharp that is. Looks good, huh?
Yep.
That's streaming right out of my HDMI, out of my iiRcade.
Oh, nice. Dude, I still haven't played Space Ace that much. I got to get into Space Ace. I've tried it a couple times. Like, that game's harder than.
You think it's harder than Dragon Slayer?
I do.
Yeah.
It's a big company in Pittsburgh. Yes, it is, Carl. Yes, it is. Yeah, I put all the statements together, all the income statements in that. We had 6 divisions, I think. They bought up Ruthroth too. See, they had Ruthroth, they had Sauer,
I'm back. That was good.
Corporation I worked for, and then they had the NASA division, and they had another. So they had, and then we had a holding. Yeah, we had six companies in that Sauer Corporation.
Crawfish balls and boudin.
That's crisp. That's crispy. I'm hoping to get the Space Ace
Replicade. New Wave Toys.
Yep.
Space Ace is good. It's fun.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten into a whole lot. I played a little bit. I ain't got very far though, man. Damn. I think that game's hard. You think it's easier than Dragon Slayer or harder? I think it's harder.
I think it's harder. That's harder, but nowhere near as hard as Dragon Slayer 2. Dragon Slayer 2 is insanity.
I've gotten.
How far can you get on Dragon Slayer 2?
I've gotten.
Because you playing it on the arcade one up, there's no cheats or anything. There's no hints. So, I mean, how far can you actually get? Like, it's hard.
Well, there's a couple hints on this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I've gotten through the crawl space. You know the crawl space in the castle there?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I got past the crawl space or not. I think I did. I can't remember what's the next section at their crawl space.
I'm not sure. I know like there's the thing with the snake, and then
Do you find a hidden bow and arrows?
yeah,
You did? Okay.
yeah.
It's kind of
Apparently,
weird.
you have to find all the hidden items to finish the game. There's like different treasures you have to pick up as you go through it to get to the final animations or
So
whatever.
there is a purpose. So if you miss one of those, you might not be able to get to the end.
What happens is if you get through them all, it repeats the ones where you missed an item.
I'll
You
just
have to
like
play them
Dragon's
again.
Lair.
You have to play them again and pick up the items to finish the game. Yeah.
And that's what's hard about Dragon's Lair itself too, man. Because if you mess up and die in one of those, you got to. It's not like you automatically pass it. You have to play it at the end before you get to the Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
I found that out finally.
Yeah, the iiRcade has the entire Dragon's Lair trilogy. We have all of them, and they're like accurate. They're all custom versions because the iiRcade has the 4x3 screen.
But you can see it playing on the Arcade 1-Up one. I mean, Arcade 1-Up isn't bad. Only thing they messed up.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just that audio video issue, and I don't understand.
Audio video sync is off by 4 frames.
I just don't know how you can.
I mean, I don't know how that got past QC. I mean, like
They didn't know nothing
someone
about the
should
game.
have caught that. They should have just sent it to someone that plays Dragon's Lair.
That's what it is.
Someone that's a fan, and they would have told them, "Look, it's behind."
Yep. It's a lot of scenes you can't notice, but when you're playing the king lizard,
the Lizard King.
yeah, you'll make a smack noise, and then he's like a second behind actually hits the floor.
Like the sound doesn't match the scepter.
Yeah,
hitting.
you can really notice it, like when
Yeah.
you're running from that.
I love that part with the Lizard King, though. It's like it's all one direction. It's like left, 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 left. Then when you get to the end, it's like sword, 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 sword until you hit them. I always love that section. Like
It's so easy.
it's so easy, but it's so fun. You know, you still got to wait for the time. You have to wait.
Mhm.
Is it like the pot of gold passes you, then you press the direction?
Up,
Yeah.
and then the swords. And there's really a section because you kind of have to wait. You hit the sword one time, and then you fall back against the wall. Then you're supposed to hit the sword again. And I do like that section. But yeah, I'm happy I got through it, man. I'm so happy. Actually, got to experience the whole game. That's probably one of the first games I ever played all the way through. It's awesome. Now I'm trying to worry. I haven't really got on the cabinet lately. I've been playing that Commando on my Mr. Do. That Commando game. You ever play Commando Arcade?
I've played. It's been a while. It's been a pretty good while.
That game's hard, man. I can't
Yeah.
get past Area 2. It's freaking hard. I think it's because there's a couple different patterns. There's not just one pattern. It's like you can get all the way through Area 2, then you die and you start all over again, and then you die instantly because the dudes are coming out and shooting at you differently. High score on there is 50,000. I ain't even got close. I think I got 39 something is my highest. I can't beat the computer, man.
Uh,
I've only gotten all the way to the end of Dragon's Lair once so far. Still have a lot of the later levels to learn. Yeah, I know all the levels on Dragon's Lair now. The hardest level on Dragon Lair for me is a stupid thing spinning around.
yeah, those are hard.
My son
Those
breezes
are
right
hard.
through that. My son's like, "Oh, it's not hard. Look, he does it every damn time."
Really?
I can't get
Every
that.
time I do it, those spinny things hit me, and I go flying into the wall. Oh,
Yep. That was the hardest part for me is those spin things. It's just like sometimes I can get through it. At least now I can get through it. Not most of the time, probably maybe 60% of the time I can get through there now. Because the one part you can do when he does if he does that 3 times, then go. But it doesn't work on the reverse. But you know what I mean? When they do the reverse.
the reverse scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't work on that one, but it will work on the other one.
Huh.
So he huffs 3 times and then go.
Mhm.
But on the reverse pattern, I'm not sure. I get through there every once in a while. It's like 50-50 shot. That one.
Yeah, and Dragon's Lair is crazy because the reverse, like the screens are reversed. They have the one with the knight with the chess, with the sword at the end. The knight with the sword.
Yeah,
And
that
you
one's
jump
easy.
and there's the electric. But
That
it can
one's
be two different directions.
Yeah.
But that's one of the ones that they do the reverse scene for.
I can get through all those, man. It's just the stupid spinny things I can't get through.
Yeah.
It's the only one I have an issue with. And then every once in a while, what's the other one? Every once in a while, I can't get through. Oh, it's that one when you're in that little room and that the floor is rocking back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I don't hit it quick enough.
Sometimes that level with the lava gets me, where the things jump out of the lava and chase you.
Yeah.
It's
That- I
like
had a
usually
hard
it's
time with
usually
that.
like the level right before the end too. It's like the next level is usually the Dragon's Lair after that.
You know, when you're falling through that thing on that wooden platform, you're falling. I think it's the reversed one. There's actually 8 levels to that. You ever fall to 8 levels?
No, I always do like that. I always get off on the third one. I think I'm like doot, and I jump.
Yep. Well, I think I want to say even on those ones, there's 6 on those, and then there's 8 on the reverse one, something like that. But yeah, you have to go all the way down. You have to go you get more points if you drop all the way down.
Oh, if you fall further, you get more points.
Yeah, if you like go down to the 7th or 8th, you actually get more points.
I know if you wait too far, he goes through the floor and it makes a crazy animation for it, like where you crash on the elevators, the crazy elevators that drop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've experienced all the death scenes in that game.
Yeah,
Especially when I first started playing that game. It's like, damn.
that's part of the charm, though. That's part of the charm.
And that's why I didn't freaking play that much in arcade, man. Because damn, if you don't,
I know it'd be crazy expensive. I mean, like you instantly die, and like that was a more expensive game to play.
50 cents. Even with the infinite lives, this probably took like 10 attempts or more. Yeah, that's how I learned the patterns was infinite play.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried over and over, tried the 3 and 5, and I just couldn't do it. And I'm like, you know what? I got to do infinite play, and then get the pattern. And now I can do it with 3. I'll die at least like once because of the spinny things. I always at least die one time because of stupid spinny things. Thor says he's gonna go play right now.
There you go.
So which one do you have, Thor? Do you have Arcade 1-Up or do you have it on a console? Because I know they made them on console too.
You can get it for like the PS4 has. I have it on the PS4. Dragon's Lair.
They come on PS4. I didn't think it came out.
Yeah. It's the Blu-ray release too. It's like the really good quality, like where they redid all the animation.
Oh, that's right.
Nice.
I have the replica here next to my desk. Nice.
I have probably bought Dragon's Lair probably for every system that's had it. I mean, I'd be scary to know how many times I've bought that same game. I bought it for the. Let me think. I bought it for the PS3. I bought it for the PS4. I bought it on DVD. I bought it on Blu-ray when they came on Blu-ray because it came out on DVD. Dragon's Lair. Then they came out on Blu-ray, like actual Blu-ray. I bought all those, right? And then I bought it on PC on Steam. Yeah. And then I have the iiRcade has it, and I bought it. So. Lots of and wait a minute, more. I bought it for the Sega CD. I bought that game. How many times is that? Like 10 times, 8 times?
What Steam? Where would you buy it on?
I bought it on Steam. I have Dragon's Lair on Steam. The Sega CD. The Sega CD. Yep. I even had Dragon's Lair for the Atari ST computer system. The Atari ST.
Was that stupid like the one that NES had? Like
it wasn't good. It wasn't animated. It was just like they took computer. They did like this fake animation where they took like computer images. But
did you see Bad Mike's NES version of that?
Oh no, I didn't get a chance to watch him play that. I bet you it's fun.
No, it's not. It doesn't even look like Dragon Slayer. Don't have the music. It's it's goofy. Not good at all.
Is that the NES or the Super Nintendo that had Dragon Slayer?
The NES.
NES had Dragon Slayer, but it's not like the Laserdisc game.
No, it's a totally different game.
Uh-huh.
But the funny thing is, Bluth actually approved it. It's like, why would you approve that? It's not even nothing like.
Looking for a payday, looking for a paycheck.
It is, because I mean, it's nothing like Dragon Slayer. Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have a couple Dragon Slayers that aren't like they had a version for the Xbox too. The original Xbox had a Dragon Slayer. I got that one too.
Did you?
That wasn't actually like Dragon Slayer. That was more like an action game, but it wasn't.
I wonder if it's the same one as Bad Guy Mike played. Like everything was like real slow in it. Even he jumps, it's like real slow.
No, this was like an early 3D game where they were trying to make it 3D, where you actually move Dirk around, but it just didn't play great. I didn't get very far in it. I gave up on it quick. Wasn't much fun.
Dan Z, that was Dragon Slayer 3D.
Dragon Slayer 3D. I did have that. Yes, for the Xbox. The original Xbox, not the new one, the original. The original Xbox was really good. Cheap emulation machine. You could hack the original Xbox. You could put these mod chips in it. Then you could do whatever you want. Once you had that mod chip in there, you could burn games. You could play MAME on it. You could play Killer Instinct on it. It was crazy. It's like because I guess the Xbox was so similar to a PC. Once they figured out how to make these mod chips for it, you could do everything on with it. Like I still have my modded Xbox. I don't have it hooked up, but you could do all kind of cool things with it, you know?
Huh. Yeah, I never modded any console. I still got my it's not mine, but I still got a PlayStation 2.
You had to like solder the mod chip into it. I don't think it was real easy. Like I had someone do it, but it could do a lot. Once you had that mod chip, you could do a lot.
Thor said, okay, I didn't do so good. Only 21,623 from 5 Dirks. I suck. It's repetitive. You just got to keep playing over and over and over.
It's all patterns, yeah.
It was hard as hell. I had a friend that finished it. I gave up. I finished Dragon Slayer. I proudly can say. Yeah, I think I did a gameplay on that, like Carl Ode said, and I think I used 5 Dirks, and I think I used 3 on that gameplay I showed on my channel.
Okay.
I think I died 2 or 3 times. I want to say I died twice, and I used the third one. I think it's 3 or 4, but I think it might have been 3. It's not some of those. I mean, most of those things, man, they're easy, but there's some of them, man, are freaking hard. And like the Arcade 1-Up one makes it even more hard just because the audio video ain't synced. Because if I go play a real arcade, I won't. I guarantee it won't do real well because of that. I'm used to the audio video problem.
You're used to the timing's off by a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of those scenes, there is a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, it's like you can move within this amount of time. As long as it moves within this range of times, it'll work.
Yeah. Some of them really don't have that.
Some have none. Like the spinny things have no forgiveness. Like either you get it dead on or you get launched through the wall.
Yep. Yeah, because here's a couple times I've hit the joystick twice. Once this way, once that way. And sometimes it does work on some of the scenes. You actually can make a 2 move if you do quick enough. But most of the time not. But that is nice. There's a little cushion there. I finished Dragon Slayer. I was talking 3D. That game was punishing.
Yeah, the Dragon Slayer 3D was ridiculous. Like I had that game. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't play it.
I never heard of that. I have to look that up.
Yeah. It was kind of cool. They were kind of like they did like the cell shading where it kind of looked animated. Like they were experimenting with some things. It just wasn't really that successful, I don't think.
That was through the Xbox?
Original Xbox, yeah.
Original Xbox. Yeah, I played on original. I never owned one, but I played it on.
Yeah, one of my original. I have 2 original Xboxes, and they're all modded out. They're like in clear cases. They're translucent,
Oh, nice.
and one of them runs original Coin Ops. Like Coin Ops. Everyone knows what Coin Ops is now, but Coin Ops was originally like an Xbox thing. For the original Xbox, they had a team that developed Coin Ops to run MAME on the original Xbox. And that entire Xbox, that's all that's on there because it's big. It takes up all the space so that the machine had.
Wow.
But they were cool. You could put in a computer, hard drives and stuff. They were very moddable.
Yeah.
Once the hacker community got into that Xbox, that original one, they had a field
hackers.
day. Yeah.
The hackers, they're still out there.
Yeah, they're still out there.
Now they have those freaking things, man. You can connect to Xbox and PS4. Like there's Titan thing.
What does that do? Allows you to play burn games, I take it, probably.
No, if you're playing like Call of Duty or Fortnite,
it's like a hack for playing.
Yeah, for the controller.
Cheat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely cheating. Like you have a pistol that single fires, you can make the pistol automatic.
Okay.
That's why you can't, if you play like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, it's really hard to play those games because you have these people that are using weapons that are not supposed to have rapid fire.
And they got rapid fire.
They got rapid fire, yeah. And then they have aimbot that you can put on there. So, I mean, aimbot, you shoot them in a freaking foot, but it gives you a headshot. Yeah. I mean, that's why I got tired of playing those games. I played all those games. It just got old, man, because these people are all cheating. Like, I'll watch people playing, they'll like shoot right next to your head. It doesn't even hit your head, but it's a headshot. It's like
that ruins the game.
Yeah.
If you can cheat, it ruins the game.
I mean, Fortnite actually paid a YouTuber, I forget his name now, and they cheated for him just so people would watch him and say, "Oh, I want to play Fortnite. Look, this guy's so good, man. I'm gonna." And he actually got caught cheating. It's like these companies, man. They're part of the problem too. I mean, Fortnite making the game and they're showing, they're helping people cheat to make people play the game because I want to be like so and so.
Yeah,
and you never can get that level because they're cheating for them.
Yeah, Goofyfoot, welcome to the club. Goofyfoot says, I was one of those guys. I got kicked off of Xbox. I did too. I got my Xbox account banned for my Xbox 360. It had a mod chip in it, and Microsoft figured out how to figure out if you had a mod. They figured out a way that they could tell if you had a mod chip. And so what they did basically is that console then became like banned where you couldn't connect to Xbox Live. Here's the dumb part. I'm telling you the dumb part. I had bought a bunch of games. I had bought some Xbox games. And when they did that, they basically locked me out of buying any more games because I was buying some games,
Well, that's stupid.
I thought it was pretty dumb because at that point, I mean, I could still play all the burn games, but I couldn't buy any games from them. I mean, I don't know. To me, that was not a. I mean, it did suck though because then my games I couldn't get any more games on that machine.
Yeah, that sucks.
But anyway,
the OG Xbox was popular for emulations, but never really put two together. To me, it's like, what's the big deal? You're still buying games.
Yeah. People that are going to hack it anyway. You know what I mean? The people that want to do that, you could do that always with everything. I mean, MAME was all started by, people that wanted to keep arcade games alive. A lot of these arcade games, we wouldn't be still playing them if it wasn't for the MAME team, They took all these games and they rescued them basically by emulating them.
Which is awesome. I wouldn't have my Mr. Do back there because those are all MAME. Do you ever buy MAMEs or download MAMEs? papabrad?
For educational purposes only.
I was just wondering what's the best website to go to get MAMEs.
Yeah. There's a site called Arcade Punks that you can get a lot of good stuff on.
Oh, okay.
It's called Arcade Punks. They have a lot of stuff. Like if you're looking for like emulation stuff.
Yep.
They have a lot of Raspberry Pi images. I know you have a Pi, huh?
Yep. Yeah, I got a Raspberry. I think it's a
Yeah,
Raspberry 4.
That's where I got all my Pi images that I have. I have 2 Raspberry Pis.
Oh, you get 2?
I got one. I got a one with like I got a lot of the Sega CD and what else is on that one? Yeah. And PS1 games. I have one that's set up just to play Sega CD and PS1 games. I have one that has MAME and everything. Yeah, man, we're marathoning. You know, we're at 2 hours and 47 minutes, T.
I know, we got to get out here. Wow, still going.
I was like,
Thanks,
T. I mean, we got to do an hour show, and
We can't do an hour show.
We're almost at 3 hours.
Yeah, I want to do 3 hours.
What are the topics? He's like, well, we're going to talk about arcade games. Let's say, okay, I could talk about arcade games for a while.
And here we are.
Here we
still
are.
Talking.
2 hours, 47 minutes.
He's even talking about lightsabers. Lightsabers came in a topic for some reason. Papa Brad brought those up.
Yeah.
Brad, if your big blue works. Oh, yeah. You heard anything about your big blue?
Yeah, they got it fixed. I got a new control panel.
Oh, they sent it that quick?
That quick. It's like 11 days.
That's really been that long? Wow. So you already put it in and everything?
Not bad, yeah. Well, I have the buttons, like the stock buttons are all in it again. But yeah, it works. I'm not touching it right now. It works for now. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it for now. I mean, I had it all decked out, but I'm not going to touch it at this point. I'm just glad it works again.
I give you a funny story real quick.
I'm terrible at Street Fighter. Console fanboy, you're just going to beat me. So, I mean,
Hyper Live.
I don't play Street Fighter that much. I'm sure you're much better than me.
Let's do a Hyper Live FT3. Yeah, I like
Turbo the most out of the Street Fighters that are on Big Blue. I like Turbo the best out of the Street Fighters, but I know that's probably not the most popular one. Seems like a lot of people play the original Street Fighter 2. What's it called? Tournament Edition or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just picked up Blitz for PS1 and Crash Bandicoot. Blitz for the PS1. See, I really don't like the sports games for console. Was never a big fan. Used to play the football and hockey, but
Championship Edition. Yeah, that's the one that most people play.
Biggie D destroyed me last night, 5-4. His Chun Li is incredible. I think I might need to put a ticket for Ultimate MK3. None of the MK games would launch for some reason today. Well, that's not good, Thor. That might be a PCB problem. Did you do a full auto button mod on your 360 controllers? That's what got me banned. A full auto button mod. What did that do for you, Goofy?
You said it got him banned.
I know it got him banned.
Xbox. I got banned because I had a mod chip. That's why I got banned. They said you have a mod chip. We know you have a mod chip. I'm like, how do you know I have a mod chip? Apparently they knew.
I guess these things for the controllers that you can, change stuff with it, like the Titan 2 I have. Okay. I actually have one. They can't detect those for some reason. I think it's because it's in between the controller and the console. It's not, built in the console. You just plug it in. I think that's why he can't detect those. This sucks though, man. It just kind of pisses you off. You're trying to do freaking manual aim, and these people got freaking aimbot.
Okay, we can do it. We got 9 minutes, and we'll hit the 3 hour mark.
Uh,
Do you
But I was
think
gonna
do you think Arcade One Up will ever have downloadable games where you can add a game to your cabinet?
Nope.
You don't think that'll ever happen? They keep
Nope.
talking like they say like we have this giant install base. They talk about how many machines they have out there, and a lot of them have Wi-Fi. I mean,
Oh, I know. Yep.
what would be holding them up from saying, "Oh, you know what? You know, for $20 or $10, you could add blah 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 game to it." I mean, it's theoretically possible, isn't it?
But they think that they could come out with all these cabinets. Now, if you can get all these games on one cabinet, they're going to say, well, nobody's going to buy any of these other cabinets, which I think they're wrong in. I think people would buy cabinets even if you could buy games off a store. I think people would buy cabinets because people are in Arcade One Up are about the cabinets.
Yeah, they want
iiRcade,
the nostalgic art.
yeah, iiRcade and that games, they just want the games. But
Mhm.
Arcade One Up, people who buy Arcade One Up want the cabinet. So you can come out and have all these games on each cabinet. But if you come out with a cabinet somebody really likes, they're going to buy that cabinet.
Mhm.
They don't care if they have all the games on Pac-Man. They want a Spy Hunter, so they'll get a Spy Hunter just because they want that cabinet. And I don't think their mindset's that way. I think they're like, well, if I have one cabinet that has all these games, they're not going to buy another cabinet. I think they're totally wrong. I think people would. I would.
Mhm.
Those cabinets behind me, if I could play all those games on each of those cabinets, I would still have them. I would still have all those back there.
Yeah, it's nostalgia based.
Yeah, that's what
It's
people
not-
buy
it's
Arcade
not.
One Up. No, not
But
necessarily.
here's my point would be like you could look like a something like Street Fighter Alpha, for example. I mean, a potato can run that game. I mean, like you don't need to have great, powerful emulation to run those type of games. I mean, theoretically, you could add those to the machines.
Yeah, Cubs Boy said they stole the no risers from iiRcade. Why not steal their download idea too? I don't think they will because they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
And I wish they would come out with a Gauntlet cabinet. They had the rights to Gauntlet. Come out with a cab. I would buy that one. I might.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like Gauntlet. That'd be cool. As long as they did it right. It's got to be a four player. But Gauntlet would be a cool cabinet.
Yeah, Gauntlet is a cool cab.
And it's a game they already have the rights to, so they can make that cabinet easily. Why didn't they ever make one? I don't understand that. It's a cool cab.
I don't get the Infinity game table, really, honestly, still though.
It's for families.
Yeah.
Let's get the families together. I mean, like little kids, like 6-year-old, 8, 7. They want to play with their mom and dad a board game, right? I think they still should have different games on there, though.
But like the kind of games they have on there, can't you play all those on an iPad, like Monopoly and like those are all on iPad? I mean,
I think they need to get a little more, though. I mean, I get it, but I think they need to have more family games on there. I mean, do they have Wheel of Fortune on there? I mean, that's a family game that family can play. That's a little more modern.
Some games kind of require a dedicated cab, Tron and Star Wars, and some games I just want a dedicated cab to pay tribute, which is where I like quarter arcades and 1/6 scale replicates. I agree. Like for me,
totally
like
agree.
Star Wars, like having a yoke control and playing it that way, it's like the unique controls are something that they can do that a lot of other companies could not do.
See, look, we got 2 people right here. Sam. Gauntlet would be good. I'd pick that cabinet up. I don't know. Could we talking about cabinet or Gauntlet?
Look, they got 4 sales now for Gauntlet. So you're saying you'd get it? We got Goofy Foot. I'd probably get it. I like classic arcade stuff. 80s and 90s arcade stuff. It's kind of like what I like.
And it's a cool cab. I mean, it's a
good looking cab.
Yeah, it's a unique one. I love how they set up the 4-player too. Everybody has their own color. Don't they have an arrow too? Like, this is where you stand. If you're green, you stand here. I think it's something like that on there. It's just a cool cab.
Shot the food. Damn it, Elf! Stop shooting the food. You need food badly. I like the way it would talk to you, like the voice that would come on.
Yep.
And
I don't have
Gauntlet.
that on my. I don't have that on my Mr. Do yet, man. I have to download.
Yeah, you need to put Gauntlet on it. The original Gauntlet too. It has the great greed element with death. You know, when death comes out and he kind of pushes you to chases you around.
There you go. Hashtag free Gauntlet. There you go. Council fanboy. Free.
Now Gauntlet is on the MK Deluxe cab though.
Yep.
One of the
I
games.
want a dedicated cab to it, man. I want that.
Does it play online? How does it play online? Like, no one will answer my question. How do the classic arcade games play online? Like that, there's no YouTuber that's doing that video where they're playing like Joust. I've not seen a single video where people play Joust and Gauntlet and all those games that I want to know about how they play. Like, no one's doing that video.
Okay, like Thor said, you got Gauntlet, Gauntlet Legends, and Dark Legacy. There's boom. There's 3.
Yeah.
Games they can put on there.
Yeah. Gauntlet, there's Gauntlet Legends, I think, on the Dreamcast is pretty fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, it's great. You can play 4-player.
Warrior needs food badly. Elf, shoot the food. Don't shoot
the potions. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like all the speech stuff was funny. There you go. Console Fanboy's going to do the video for me. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. I want to see that. I want to see if that works good.
That's cool, too, because Console Fanboy, you should get Phil, Bad Guy Mike, and Dan. They all have the deluxe cab. All 4 of you guys could play it at one time, man. And give us a good demo of the Gauntlet.
There you go. Play Gauntlet. 4-player.
4-player. Now you got four people. I think these guys would do that. That'd be really cool to see.
Or Joust. Another one like Joust would be cool to see someone play it online with another player, like 2 people online playing Joust.
Yeah. It's cool though. They have those set up where you can play those online, not just leaderboards. Joust Online Gauntlet, and Tubin online so far is fun. Gauntlet 2. Oh, okay. See, I didn't realize there was a Gauntlet 2. Gauntlet Legends. So you got 4 games you guys put on there, all dedicated to Gauntlet. Gauntlet 1, 2, Gauntlet Legends, and Dark Legacy. Put that online with voice chat. Count me in. See? Boom. We're helping Arcade One up. Come up with ideas.
Yeah. We're brainstorming for them. We got 1 minute to hit 3-hour mark. Woo! Almost there. We're going to do it. 3-hour stream.
I would watch that too, Sam.
Yeah, do that video. That'd be a good video. No one's doing that. That'd be original. No one's done that yet. That's what I want to see.
And I think PD7 has Bad Guy Mike's
number
2 phone number.
The Mortal Kombat Deluxe is on my buy list. It's just I won't pay full price, but when I can get a good deal on it, I'll pick one up.
I mean, Dan from Neon Sun might be hard to get. He seems like he's busy, but I think you can get Bad Guy Mike to get on Gauntlet. Yeah, where's Satan's Hollow? I never played Satan's Hollow. You ever play Satan's Hollow?
Absolutely. It's a good classic arcade. It had a one of those flight sticks like Tron has.
Oh, does it really?
Has a stick, yeah. But you could play it with a regular joystick. I mean, but if you want to play it authentically, you would have to have a flight stick. But it's a fun game. Hey,
what's up, Real Zem? Real Zem says, is Gauntlet on iiRcade 1-Up MK30 and MK2 Deluxe? I know Gauntlet's on MK Deluxe. 4-player online or 2. I thought it was so he thinks it's just a two-player online for Gauntlet, so it's not 4. Figures. So I guess you might not be able to play Gauntlet 4-player.
I would be surprised. Like if they were to redo the Deluxe Mortal Kombat as a Joust, that would be pretty sweet. But I don't think they'll do it again because I don't think it was successful. I think they tried it, but with those TN monitors, I mean, did they really try it? Not really, because like they came up with the right, like their last run of like reproductions was the right list of games, but then they had those terrible monitors in them. So I think that's what kept a lot of people from buying them. I mean, they had Centipede. That was a hardcore 80s nostalgia game. They had Joust, but they just didn't use the good monitors, you know. But now they're going to say, oh, well, it didn't sell well. Well, it didn't sell well because
The monitor.
people knew the monitor was jacked up and they didn't want to get into all that. I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it, but now they probably won't do it again because they'll be like, oh, it wasn't successful. Making a Centipede cab wasn't successful because you didn't have a good monitor in it. It's not because it was Centipede.
No.
You know?
Oh, I know.
People love Centipede. Like when I go to arcades, I mean, I see people playing, they play a lot of the old school games. A game that always had someone parked by it, Miss Pac-Man. Always, the whole time. Every time you walk down that row, there was someone on Miss Pac-Man. It's just that those games do attract players. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the general people like those games.
Man, I remember going to arcades sometime, wanting to play a game like Tron so freaking bad. You look down there with all these freaking quarters lined up. It's like, fuck, it's going to be an hour before I could get on that game.
Yeah, the row.
Yep, quarter roll.
See, Goofyfoot's saying it right now. I wanted the joust, but not with that control deck. Exactly, 100%.
Control deck wasn't good either.
It's like they picked the right art, the right games, and then they just had a bad monitor. I mean,
yeah, I could see all those games being capped to 2 players because all the fighting games are 2 players. So Gauntlet might be capped to 2 players too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That's what the real Zim said. Hope I'm wrong about Gauntlet. I know the Capcom games are capped at 2 players online. Most of them are 2 players. I hope that they patch on it. I guarantee they won't patch it. Playing, probably just fun with 2 or 3 people. Yeah, so all their online games might be just 2
players.
Oh man, yeah, because the other thing, man, you have 4 people on there. Can you imagine the lag? They can't get their lag with 2 players.
People.
I mean, can you imagine 4? Oh man, the lag would be so freaking whacked. Yeah, I guarantee it's capped to 2. I think some of those reskins are missing the internet connectivity too. Yeah, I don't know why all their games don't have Wi-Fi. I mean, it's an easy way to update these cabs with Wi-Fi. All cabs. Since who was the first one that had Wi-Fi? Was it Tron? Or was there a cabinet before Tron that had Wi-Fi? I can't remember what first cabinet. Whatever first cabinet had Wi-Fi, all the ones after that should have Wi-Fi. For anything, for updates only.
Yeah, just even for updates. I mean, for the cost the cabs are, they should have Wi-Fi. I mean, if they were $200 or $300, that would be different, but they're charging more than that now.
Yeah, like my Dragon's Lair doesn't have Wi-Fi, and so they're probably never going to do an update patch for it, even though they could do it through, download. But all cabs should have Wi-Fi just for anything updates. The easiest way to update them.
Plus, you can do leaderboards. Leaderboards are good to have too.
Yeah, leaderboards are good to have, but my main thing is like updates. Because I guarantee they'll never do a Dragon's Lair update.
Yeah, well, they can't because it doesn't have the online. You'd have to like do like something where you plug it in, huh? Like connect it to a computer, or I don't know how you do it if you don't have Wi-Fi.
Well, I think
there's a port in there that I know you can use to
there is
do
updates.
Port.
Yeah, it has a USB too. Can't you download the file and then put it on a memory stick, and then stick it in the USB? And they should be able to do that, but they don't seem to be worried about that at all, and I don't understand why. But because there's other games they did that, you did a download and then did a memory stick. Tron. See, Goofyfoot said Tron was the first one. Maybe we can test Rampage with me. Yeah, that'd be cool to see too. Council Fanboy Rampage with me and PD7 and Dan. If you can do 3, I think you're probably only going to build to 2. That'd be cool to do a video on it. See if you can do more than 2 people. I have a feeling it's capped at 2, but we could be wrong. Oh, Council Fanboy said he texted PD7. Was Rampage the first with Wi-Fi? I don't think Rampage had Wi-Fi, did it? But then there's T2 that has Wi-Fi but only has leaderboards. That literally no one cares about. That's how Tron is. Tron is leaderboards only. Like to see how Rampage does. I don't know. Is Tubin online 2-player? I have a feeling they're all 2 players. I'd be surprised if you can play more than 2-player. And then the lag would probably be horrible with 3 or 4 players. But maybe not. Council Fanboy, hopefully we'll find out with him if we could at least play 3. Definitely, you could play 2 with Gauntlet of that. It would be cool if we could play 4, but maybe we will find out here soon. Maybe this weekend. All right, guys. Yes, Carlo is. Okay, we're at 3 hours and 7 minutes. We did 3 hours. Woo!
Yeah, we made it. We made it. We made it. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching.
Right. Before we step out of here, Papa Brad, are you guys doing Friday night arcade show tomorrow?
Yes, we're doing Friday night arcade.
What time is that?
I think it's like at 9 o'clock or something.
9 o'clock, 9:30 Eastern?
Something like that, yeah.
You guys, what are you guys covering, you know?
I'm not sure. It depends on what iiRcade does. They keep us in the dark. Well, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're releasing. We'll see.
You think they're releasing something tomorrow?
Never know. Never know.
Never know until tomorrow.
Every Friday's a mystery. So
that's funny.
We will see.
When do they release those?
When they're done.
When there's no certain time or nothing.
No. Well, sometimes they give like release times for games, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
What are you breaking over there?
Nothing, man. I'm just All
right, so we got Brooklyn's Friday night arcade show tomorrow. I think it's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Papa Brad will be on there, and then starting off next week will be Arcade Anonymous with Dan, Neon's son. They're going to have 2 special guests. Moats is one of them. I can't remember who the other guy is. For next week, that comes on next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that kind of caps off the week. And then we're next Thursday, and we're going to be doing Arcade 1-Up's new release. Because Arcade
talking about that. Sounds good.
So we'll see what Arcade 1-Up comes up. Everybody thinks it's Fast and Furious. Is it going to be Fast and Furious, or is it going to be Qbert? It could be Qbert. Or Miss Pac-Man. They might have found the lost Miss Pac-Man.
Poor Miss Pac-Man. Poor Miss Pac-Man getting canceled.
Maybe they're going to bring her back out. But everybody thinks it's Fast and Furious. It would be funny if it wasn't Fast and Furious, though. Because everybody's hyped for that. It'd be just kind of like a lot of pissed off people if it wasn't Fast and Furious. So hopefully
no new PCBs, just the same thing, the different cab.
Yep. Same stuff, same old.
All
right, guys. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks, Goofy Foot. Thanks, Carl O. Thanks, Sam's Arcade. Thanks, Council Fanboy. Thanks, Neon Sun. Thanks, Big Bag Mike. Thanks, Phil from PD7. Thanks, Goofy Foot. Who else I missed on there? Thanks, Thor. KC.
Thanks, Thor.
Yep.
Sam. You said Sam.
Yep.
The real Zim.
Julie M. Thanks for stopping by.
Zim.
Yeah, the real Zim. Mm-hmm. Thanks. Common Sense 200. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. I'll be making a video too. I'm doing another walk and talk. I'm sorry, walk and sock. Right. I'm doing another walk and sock.
We get to see new socks, hopefully.
New socks. It's in production right now. I got the new socks. This one is crazy. So God knows when we'll be finished editing it, but yeah, I'm working on it.
So look out for that video.
Yeah. And I'll probably do another video with the interview with the owners of the Wayback Arcade. That'll be a separate video, I think. That's kind of where I'm at right now with my new videos. But
I'll have a video with Dig Dug wall art I just got today. I'll be putting that out this weekend. Mm-hmm. So look out for Papa Brad's Friday night arcade show. Look out for his Wayback videos coming out this weekend.
Yeah,
I know he'll be putting those out. And hopefully all you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully see you guys next week. Stay legit.
Oh, stay legit. You did it! That was awesome. Thank you. Stay legit.
T. McCluskey presents Arcade Talk live stream.
Now the kitty gone astray. Can you live in